As a reminder, the student section is in section E, located next to the band.
Coach Greedle and his squad are absolutely not going away. They've got a plethora of dudes coming back this year.
This is going to be a really good team because they have a lot of the elements, a lot of talent on this team.
The Bastrop Bears, a team loaded with talent on the 2025 season.
From Wildcat Stadium in Elgin, we bring you another presentation of Bastrop Bears football on Vype Live. I'm Jake Herman, joined tonight
Coach
by
Greedle
Sasha Robinson
and his squad are absolutely...
where the Bastrop Bears look to stay unbeaten at 7-0, taking on the Elgin Wildcats, coming into this one off their first win of the season at 1-6. And for Bastrop, a big week, a milestone week for this program in year 4 under Jake Greedle, ranked in the AP top 10 in 5A D2 for the first time in program history. They come in at number 10. Jake Greedle's message to the team: acknowledge it, appreciate it, but move forward and go 1-0 tonight.
That's the best way how you want to do. You want to make sure that you still have your team stay grounded whenever you have an accomplishment like that, because you don't want to get a big head. Whenever you have a big head or something of the sorts like that, you can probably see it in your play. So it's a good thing. Stay humble. You know, look into your laurels, what you got, but you know what? You came a long way, but still you got so far to go. Tupac said that one time.
And I'm sure that's among the many that are trying to impart wisdom on this Bastrop Bears team, but they have just been rolling on the offensive side of the ball. Since district play began, they are outscoring their opponents by an average of over 50 points per game. This season, they're averaging 61 points per game, over 500 yards, and that continued with 50 in the first quarter in a 71-0 win over Navarro a week ago.
Yeah, and that was just probably like one of those a really shortcoming type game where it's like the game was over with at halftime, but they did get their average. Everybody was able to get a part of it, and they were able to get their numbers.
And we're fighting through a little bit of a lag issue here. We'll get that sorted for you on the back end. Meanwhile, we'll talk to you about these two teams a little more.
And here come your Elgin Wildcats. Led as always by Michael Silkin and his award-winning program.
Both teams have taken the field. We're getting set for the coin toss and the opening kickoff from Elgin, Texas. On a 79-degree night, wind is gusting around down there. There was some rain in the forecast, Sasha, but for now, knock on wood, looks like it's holding off. We're going to get a ball game in tonight.
Well, you know what? Let's hopefully this game is over with before the rain comes in. What did you say? The rain is supposed to come in like by 11 o'clock?
Yeah, that's what they're saying on the weather apps, about 11 o'clock tonight.
Hopefully it'll be done by then, and you know we should be home, get nice and dry and everything. I know I won't be home by then, but hopefully you'll be home by then.
Well, for those of you who are at home, we certainly appreciate you joining us tonight, whether you're back in Bastrop, all across the region, or maybe even out of the country. Who knows? The Bears started to get a lot of eyeballs, a lot of attention for the way this season has gone. They were preseason number 18 in the Dave Campbell's Texas Football 5A D2 poll. But with this 7-0 start, they have vaulted up to number 10. Again, first time in school history, the Bears getting that recognition, ranked in terms of the state picture. If they want to stay that way, they'll have to take care of a local rival on the road tonight. It's an Elgin team that was 6-6 a year ago, but this season, their first under coach Rich Lucero, they had to wait a while to pick up their first win. They did it in emphatic fashion on the road last week in a 70-26 victory over Crockett.
That's a good way how to get your first victory is with a blowout or with that. You know, it looks like if we're looking at it, they were getting a whole bunch of blowouts, and so that they got their first victory, something riding high going over here into this game.
So as the color guard marches towards midfield, we'll let you listen in to the Star Spangled Banner, and we'll get you the starting lineups after this.
Where Elgin ISD Navy JROTC Sea-Caps will be presenting the colors. We ask that you remain standing until the flag has exited the field. Presenting colors for tonight's national anthem are the following cadets: Samuel Adeguin, Color Guard XO, Aliyah Ostigden, Suleimaya Hernandez, and Melody Travanino. Tonight's performance of the Star Spangled Banner will be played by the Elgin High School Band under the direction of Mr. Andrew Arbuzal.
So great performance of the Star Spangled Banner by the Elgin Wildcat Band sets the stage for this matchup between, well, two of the closest geographic foes for one another in District 11 5AD2. Last year, it was Bastrop claiming a 47-24 victory over Elgin in a game played at Memorial Stadium. Weston Nielsen very efficient that day, 5 touchdowns through the air. Well, that day, Sasha, the Wildcats were led on the ground and in the receiving game by one Gary Jefferson Jr., who's enjoying a homecoming of sort tonight after playing the first 3 years of his high school career in Wildcat Purple. Now he's on the other sideline in maroon and white for Bastrop.
That's got to be something. That's got to be something with just hearing with Gary Jefferson coming back home, where he played last year, and I'm pretty sure that his heart is fluttering. He's probably been hearing it from his friends all week, the teammates all week. People have been messaging him, probably on social media, talking about him coming back. And I'm pretty sure he's going to probably let everybody know, hey, yes, I am home. Just like any time, you want to show everybody up.
Well, Gary Jefferson Jr. has been showing up defenses all season long. 755 yards on the ground, 371 through the air. He's actually their active leading receiver, with Dallas Crescenzo still sidelined due to injury tonight. And a guy that's averaging 9 yards per carry looking to feast against an Elgin defense that is a little bit on the younger side during what Coach Rich Lucero called a real rebuilding year for the Wildcats.
Well, the only way that you're going to get experience is by playing. You're not going to get it by just getting older. It doesn't matter if you're a senior and you don't get it and you don't play. You're going to be an experience. So the best way how to figure it out is going to be against one of the best D2 teams in the state, which I'd say because they're top 10. So one of the top offenses. So you're going to learn right now exactly what you're capable of.
And as for Gary Jefferson Jr., you mentioned his heart probably going to be fluttering. Jake Greedle, the Bastrop head coach, well aware of that when we spoke earlier in the week. He told Gary coming into this game, yeah, Elgin wants to stop you a little bit extra, right? And I'm sure you want to go out and prove yourself a little bit more. But recognize the goal. Just going 1-0, it's another chance to get better. Try to keep his star running back grounded in the moment here tonight.
Right, and again, that goes back to what you're saying. Don't make it focus of like this is a revenge game or a showing off game. Just like everything that you do, when it's just another game. Yeah, it's a game in front of your hometown and people you probably grew up with, people who you knew, people who probably watched you for the longest, and now they're seeing you. Oh, now you're the enemy now. Hate to say it like that, but you're going to want to make sure that you don't make this the primary reason. The main reason is to help your team win.
Yeah, Jake Greedle telling his team, look, it's another chance to get better, and they know they need to build towards the back end of this schedule with Pflugerville next week, and then Liberty Hill, the district co-leader with Bastrop. That's the regular season finale on November 7th. Telling his team tonight, Jake Greedle, the goal, just keep getting better, and don't get caught looking ahead, because it's an Elgin team right now at 1-6 overall. Playoffs might be out of the picture, but they're going to give Bastrop their best shot tonight, and they'll receive the ball first off the opening kickoff. Isaac Velasquez places it on the tee and gets set to boot it deep. Jackson Malik and Michael Mejias, the two deep men returning for the Wildcats. Here we go. The drum roll comes on cue, and at 7:37, we take flight tonight. And the kickoff booted all the way through the end zone. Isaac Velasquez shows off his cannon of a leg. And the Elgin offense will set up shop at its own 25 to start this game. Quarterbacked by Trey Flores, but they'll use a variety of different quarterback looks. It's a Wildcat team that is really open to changing up who's under center based on the different looks the defense presents.
Well, with that one, that can be a good and a bad thing. Way how I look at it. Good thing is, like you said, you keep your team off, you keep your opponents off balance. Who's under center? What you expect. The bad thing is that if one is in rhythm, and he takes off. I mean, how would that look?
Flores under immediate pressure floats it up in the air, and it's nearly intercepted. The receiver that time, Michael Mejias, had to turn into a defender quickly. It was Trey Flores, who was all-district last year as a linebacker. His main sport is baseball, so there's been a learning curve for him at the quarterback position. Rich Lucero says that for his team to hang tough tonight, they're going to have to lean on this senior-led offensive line, including captains Kelly Gibson at left tackle and Sebastian Monroy at center. Aiden Vasquez, Drake McCoy, the right guard and right tackle. Gavin McGee is the left guard for Elgin. And a little bobble on the handoff. That football's on the turf. Let's see who fell on top of it. Looks like it'll stay with Elgin, but a loss of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down and 12 on this opening series.
Yeah, bad snap, but it was a good thing that they were able to just fall on it and be able to you have another down to be able to try to convert this. Not giving Bastrop the ball back in this high-powered offense with good field position.
The starters for Bastrop, Case Benoit, Kenyon Moore, Tiki Hola, and Val Regalado on the defensive line. Austin Moylan and Isaiah Arnold, the linebacking tandem in the middle. Kenneth Hunt, Cale Finley, the safety, Zach Wilkinson, and Willie White on the edges, as this is a screen pass floated out into the flat, where it is brought down for only a minimal gain. Moylan on the stop after Noah Vizcarra caught the screen, and it is 4th down and about 9 in the punting group, with Christian Soto coming on for Elgin.
Good defense was able to just get it, was able to come in there, and Moylan was able to come in there and just blow up that play. And that was just like a gain of 2. So good defense, forced the punt.
Soto is a terrific punter who head coach Rich Lucero said really flies under the radar with his contributions. Back deep to return is Gary Jefferson Jr., and the kick angled away from him. Everybody backs off for Bastrop as this settles to a stop at about the 47-yard line. The Bears going to start this first drive in plus territory after forcing the 3 and out.
And it was a good thing of just being able to keep the ball away from Gary and not let him be able to be electric right now. I guess they're going to try to keep it away from him special team-wise because he will hurt you on special teams.
So, out come the Bears offense, led by Weston Nielsen, completing 68% of his passes, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions this season. Last week, he was 8 of 10, 151 yards, 3 touchdowns in the lopsided win over Navarro, where he took his foot off the gas early. Play fake on first down. Nielsen going deep. Has a man. It's Rangel. And he dropped it. Nearly a touchdown on the first snap for the Bears. But that one unable to be hauled in.
You know, the reason why I got a little bit excited because I saw the wide receiver in me just being able to just know you had it, you had steps, you dropped it. That is just something just so that you had a walk in and you just let it go. It's going to probably be eating them out.
Bastrop still trying to play with tempo here despite the drop. And it's a screen pass to Jefferson Jr. He is thrown down. And that is the leader of the Elgin defense making a play. Matthew Clear, number 45 in purple, their leading tackler, comes up with the stop.
Looks like Clear made it very clear that Jefferson is not going to let it be known. The moment Gary touched that ball, he was on top of him.
So instead of a touchdown on that deep ball from Nielsen to Rangel, it is now 3rd and 17 from the 45 as Matthew Clear greets Gary Jefferson Jr. to start this homecoming with a 7-yard TFL. Bears will look to get out of this situation with Rangel, the motion man, going to Nielsen's right in the slot. Weston has time. Now pocket collapses. He rolls out to his left. Nielsen forced out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage, the 47. It'll be 4th and 10 here for Bastrop.
Well, it looks like Weston didn't see anything he didn't like. Just was able to scramble, was able to get a good couple of yards, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there, Jake.
Well, Weston Nielsen barking out signals. Caden Laney is the punter, but he's been elevated into a starting receiving role with Dallas Crescenzo on the sideline. And on 4th and 9 from the 46, 9:14 to go in the first quarter, Bears trying to get organized. It certainly looks like they're going to go for it. Rangel in motion with 3 on the play clock. And movement pre-snap. The right side of the Bastrop formation all moved, including Wilkinson and Carter on the edge. And now Bastrop will send out the punting group with the false start penalty.
Now that I think about it, I think that this is the first drive all season that Bastrop has not scored on their opening drive. So Elgin looks like they came to play. They were able to stop them and not being able to get that momentum, because it's like whenever they had that momentum going, you weren't stopping it. They were like that train.
And it's an Elgin team full of belief after their first win of the season a week ago. As Caden Laney boots it away. Wobbly kick, but it's a good one. Checking up inside the 15 and rolling down to the 12, where it's downed by the Bears. So, Elgin comes up with the defensive stop on the game's opening series. And their offense will get back to work. They'll feature a lot of work for 2 different running backs. Michael Mejias, number 0, and Jeremiah Nicholson, number 1. Both came into this game, Sasha, with exactly 80 carries and right around 400 yards. For Elgin to win this game, they'll have to establish some kind of a run. No easy task against this Bastrop front.
And I mean, when you have a front led by Tiki Hola, and everybody else has been stepping up lately, it's not going to be easy. Their defense has been able to manhandle the offensive lines lately.
Mention those 2 tailbacks. Nicholson is off to the right of Trey Flores on this first down snap. 9:03 to go in the first quarter. And it's Nicholson right up the middle and driven backwards. And I mean way backwards by Tiki Hola and Case Benoit.
And that is exactly how it's been all season. Not many teams have been able to really just get a good job or been able to get to break past this defensive line. They have been manhandling, getting good penetration, getting those guards and centers have not been able to really stop that interior.
It's an Elgin team that ran for 466 yards last week, but against a very different opponent than this. Flores gives back to Nicholson. He tries the left side, and same result. This time, Kenyon Moore and Val Regalado form the greeting party at the line of scrimmage.
Same result, just like what happened, but different names. Trying to go somewhere else, and this defensive front has been unmovable all season.
8:02 to go, and running here in the first quarter. Elgin on its second possession after going 3 and out on its opening series. Backed up at their own 14, facing 3rd down and 9. And they'll spread it out here with 3 receivers. Flores hands it off. Nicholson, he is brought down for a loss in the backfield. Coming into the backfield like a torpedo off the edge was Val Regalado. Looked like number 12, Adrian Martinez, defensive back, was coming on a blitz as well, and he came to clean it up. It is a loss of a yard. It's 4th and 10, and another Elgin punt upcoming.
And again, it looks like they're trying to run something different, maybe trying to catch them off guard. But the thing is that it's been good penetration. You're not going to be able to stop them.
Bears have blocked quite a few kicks this year. And they're coming after this one, too. Soto gets it away cleanly, and it angles out past the 40. Takes an Elgin hop and checks up at the 46-yard line. So 1 yard better on the starting field position for Bastrop than they had on their opening drive. Let's see if Nielsen and company can make amends for that rare 3 and out.
Yeah, it's a very rare 3 and out, especially when you look at the way how that drive was, and a very rare undisciplined 4th down when it looks like they were going to go for it, and they did that offsides.
Weston drops back, zips it out to Rangel, who turns upfield at the 40, sheds a tackle, and he is gone. 46 yards on the button hook, taken to the house. Diego Rangel.
And he made up for that drop, and he was able to just shed the tackle and go right up the field. That's what you talk about, good yak yards, shaking it off right there, making somebody miss, and there was nobody else to be able to catch him. He made amends for that one.
Andy Carbajal on to try and add the PAT with 6:55 to go in the first quarter. Wilkinson holds, and Carbajal sweeps the leg right through. And with just under 7 minutes to go in this opening frame, it is 7-0 Bastrop here on the road at Elgin.
The team at E3 Wealth has deep ties with the Bastrop community, including longtime Bastrop residents Mark Caldwell and Chad Benoit, along with Bastrop alum Joe Quartucci and Bastrop Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Taylor. They want to wish the Bastrop football team, along with all the other athletic programs, good luck this season. Go Bears!
So after nearly scoring on their opening play from scrimmage tonight, Bastrop had to settle for a punt on its first possession. But second time with the football, Diego Rangel makes the catch, spins upfield, breaks the tackler, and uses that speed to break this deadlock. 7-0 Bears here in the first quarter.
And again, if you just look at the way how he did, and with on the nice little comeback route, was able to just catch the ball, bring it in, turn up, shake the tackle, run up. The safety was really out of position. Nobody was going to get him, where he was able to just take it in.
Tell you what, the crowd in this game was a little bit late arriving, but now it's starting to fill in nicely on both sides of the bleachers as Velasquez boots one through for another touchback with the wind at his back, kicking from that side. Take a look down there at the Bastrop bleachers, Sasha. This is quite the road turnout here for the Bears. Granted, not the longest trip they'll have to take this season, but nice to see some support for the 10th-ranked team in the state on a Friday night.
Well, that's what I was. What me and you were talking about earlier when it didn't look like his field. I thought that they would have packed a lot more. They traveled to China Springs. So if you're just coming around the corner, how come nobody's here? But they showed up.
And they were all maybe socializing in the concourse before this one started, but now everybody taking their seats for the main event. From the 25-yard line, Flores hands off Nicholson, who lowers his shoulder and plunges ahead for a gain of about 6 yards. Check that, 4 yards there. In on the tackle was Chris Rockwell for the Bears.
Rockwell was able to just get the tackle, but this is something where they were able to get them a little bit of a 4 yards, make that like a little bit of a second and manageable.
Yeah, best play from scrimmage so far tonight for Elgin. Looking to get something going on its third drive here tonight. Mejias, the motion man, comes behind Flores, but the give goes to Nicholson, and he loses the football. Big pile of Bears trying to jump on it, and it looks like the ball rolled all the way back out towards the 18-yard line. Bastrop's got it. It ends up in the hands of Austin Moylan.
Not what you'd want to see right now, especially on your third drive. Your offense hasn't been getting going, then you do a turnover, and that's one thing we can honestly say about Bastrop. They have been really good turnover opportunistic. That's the way how I wanted to say that all season.
Well, Austin Moylan missed a couple of games in non-district play. He is making up for lost time in a big way. That's his second forced fumble of the year, moving to inside linebacker after playing on the edge a season ago. And he's got Bastrop set up in excellent field position, up 7-0 here. On a bootleg, Nielsen plants and throws, end zone, it's incomplete. He led Zach Wilkinson a little bit too close to the boundary, and Zach almost able to secure that one for a touchdown.
I bet you Weston's probably wishing that to have that one right back because he was wide open over there. Just led him a little bit too far.
Yeah, great play design there by Jake Greedle, with Wilkinson screaming open in the end zone. Zach didn't have a catch last week, but 2 weeks ago he made school history, a 5-touchdown performance against Connolly. On second down, here's Gary Jefferson Jr. Patiently picks his way inside the 10-yard line, just short of the first down. Looks like 3rd and inches coming up for the Bastrop Bears, but there is an injured Elgin Wildcat down on the field. And so that player down will bring us to a halt here. Looks like it is James Young, the senior linebacker for the Cats. And we'll step aside while the training staff from Elgin comes out to tend to him.
Most accountants look back at last year. Most advisors won't talk taxes at all. At E3 Wealth, we focus forward on what's possible. Every dollar you don't send to Uncle Sam is a dollar you can invest, enjoy, or pass on. That's why we build proactive tax strategies for today and tomorrow. Don't pay more than your fair share. Contact E3 Wealth in Bastrop today at 512-549-3931 or by email at info@e3wealth.com. Go Bears!
So the injured Wildcat Young is up to his feet. That's a great sign from an Elgin perspective. Bastrop, meanwhile, just gave Gary Jefferson Jr. his first carry of the night. Had a reception go for -7 yards earlier, but that rush goes for 9. Gary, Sasha, has gone 4 straight weeks, and those are the 4 district games, averaging 10 or more yards per carry. Pretty unbelievable.
Pretty unbelievable when you have a back who's just, whenever he touches the ball, he's automatically getting you a first down.
Rangel in motion. Nielsen fakes the pitch, keeps it himself, and dashes up the middle, dragging defenders into the end zone for a touchdown. Weston Nielsen running a little bit of a speed option. Haven't seen that from the Bears this year. It works for 6 from 11 yards out.
Well, that's one thing when you don't prepare for the option, and he faked it. Everybody was really looking at Gary because again, that's probably been your main focus. Faked it, and he was just able to go right up the middle, and then that's just all strength by Weston.
It's the 4th rushing touchdown of the year for Weston Nielsen as Carvajal adds the PAT. Coach Greedle told me, hey, opponents are sleeping a little bit on Weston Nielsen's legs. We hope that keeps happening. Well, he draws one up for his QB inside the 10-yard line, and Weston able to punch it in. Bastrop takes advantage of the fumble, scores 4 plays later, and now leads 14-0 with 5:29 to go here in the first quarter. You're watching Bears football live from Elgin here on Vype Live.
For over 30 years, E3 Wealth has been challenging the status quo on how people think about their money. There are a ton of options when it comes to tax and finance, but most of them use a one-size-fits-all approach. With E3, you will get something tailored for you. If you're ready for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, please reach out to our Bastrop office at 512-549-3931 or email us at info@e3wealth.com.
You just heard the message for E3 Wealth. Want to shout out the rest of the Benoits watching from back in Bastrop tonight. Joyce, Lori, and Colby. Best of luck to the Bastrop Middle School 8th graders in their district championship volleyball game tomorrow. Got to get some sleep, get to bed early. Watch us on Vype instead of making the trip tonight.
Hey, you know what? It's a drive. Trust me, it's a drive. When I get home sometime, I wake up, because I'm normally an early riser. But, I can definitely understand that when you have other things you have to do tomorrow. It's better, it's free. Watch on YouTube. Watch the game on YouTube. We're here.
Yeah, what a luxury that is, and we're glad to be able to bring it to you here on Vype Live. He's Sasha Robinson. I'm Jay Kerman. So privileged to be your broadcast crew here during this Bears 2025 season thus far. 5:29 to go first quarter. And the Elgin Wildcats on their 4th possession. Handoff. And that has been the way it's gone so far tonight. Elgin trying to establish the run and running into big number 55 in white, Tiki Hola and the rest of his friends.
And again, Big Tiki, who will be going to Notre Dame next year, and I will look forward to watching Tiki next year.
That's homecoming king Tiki Hola to you.
Oh, that's right, homecoming king Tiki Hola. I apologize, Mr. Hola. Your Majesty Hola.
Well, what a crowd it was last week at Memorial Stadium during the Bastrop homecoming game. Stands packed in, great buzz in the air as a little reverse play here, and some space on the left side for Mejias. And Michael Mejias picks his way for 5 yards. Good closing speed that time by Isaiah Arnold and the rest of the Bears to stop that from becoming a bigger play. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 for Elgin.
That's probably going to be one of the few times that you're going to be able to do that, because if you're going to try running up the middle, you see that's a no-go. You're going to have to try to find a creative way of getting past this Bastrop defense, and with that creative way, it was just good closing speed by their secondary being able to stop it, but that was a good play by Elgin.
A good observation there, able to get to the outside after those runs up the middle were not really working. They'll run another reverse play, little shovel pass to the flat. Mejias jukes his way towards the line to gain, but he's brought down shy. Austin Moylan came in to sandwich him along with Cale Finley. So now a decision here for Coach Lucero on 4th down and 2, and he's going to send out the punting unit, not wanting to give Bastrop excellent field position for a 4th consecutive drive.
The first time you ran it, that just came out of nowhere. Like, okay, yeah, that's a surprise. But when you try to run the same play again, defenses kind of start picking up on certain things, and they're going to start noticing, like, when receivers or somebody's in motion, they're going to start paying attention to that. It's better to run them in spurts.
Okay, on both punts so far, Soto has kicked it away from Gary Jefferson Jr. And it was a fake, but the play clock hit 0. No matter, as, well, Bastrop was ready for it. Case Benoit and number 27, Grayson Thompson, were there to tackle Nicholson, who took that sort of fake snap as the up back. So instead of the fake, it is a delay of game penalty. And on 4th and 7, dare the Wildcats run it again?
I don't think so. They're just going to punt it.
Interesting. Coach Lucero dialing up a fake there, but unable to get the snap off in time. And now Soto punts that one against the wind, and it just sits down at about the 50. Now, that one's pounced on at the 50-yard line by Kenneth Hunt. I think he thought it might have touched a Bastrop Bear on the way down. Remember, if it touches Bastrop, it's a live ball. So I don't know if it did touch a Bastrop Bear. If it did, it's a heads-up play by Kenneth Hunt, who secures it for Bastrop at the 50.
Well, from up here, I thought it was. I was about knowing me in my football. I was about to yell hot, jump on the ball. So I really thought that he touched it. Good heads-up play and awareness to keep the ball with them.
And right at midfield, Nielsen and company take over on their fourth possession of the night, all of which have started at the 50 or better. Weston keeps it, now fires out to the flat. It's caught by Zach Wilkinson, who pinballs his way inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. That was a good little concept, rolling Nielsen to his left and linking with his new favorite target.
And early in the season, even though he wasn't as electric as Dallas, he did show that he is a good playmaker all season.
Weston keeps it here, fires out to Brent Carter, who flashes open inside the 30. He's eventually tackled by Zaylen McCoy and Jermaine Roberson in the Elgin secondary. But the quick pass for 11 yards moves the sticks.
And that's what you want to do. And it looks like Nielsen was about to get tackled, but he found his receiver out there, was able to get the ball to him. So that's one thing we can at least say. Elgin is starting to get to Nielsen, but he's just quicker with getting that ball out.
On first down and 10 from the 26-yard line, Nielsen looking deep, and it's just out of reach of his intended target, Brent Carter, who looked to do a little stutter step there towards the back of his end zone. I'm not so sure, Sasha, if Carter keeps running, that might have been a perfect throw.
It would have been a perfect throw if you would have just kept going instead of just looking. Just run your route. Let the quarterback will get the ball to you. When you look like you're stuttering away, this would happen.
Of course, Carter last week, his biggest game of the season, 4 catches, 83 yards, and 3 touchdowns. On second down, Jefferson Jr., nothing doing, but he reverses Fields and is able to work hard to get back behind the line of scrimmage for only a loss of 1. You can tell right now this Elgin defense taking a lot of pride in trying to slow down their former teammate.
Yeah, if you can tell, I'm seeing the student section. They look like they were excited about it. It's like the moment, every time Gary touches the ball, they are really excited whenever they get him down. So they're at least showing like this is something. They've probably been on him, like I was talking about earlier this week.
3rd and 13 from the 28-yard line. Free play here with a defender offside. Nielsen knows it, fires, and it's off the hands of his intended target, Caden Laney. That was a fastball like you'll see in the World Series later tonight, and Laney couldn't quite hang on. It'll be a defensive penalty, and 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, but it's a free play. You probably want to just be able to decline it. You would have gotten the ball with it inside the 10, probably a touchdown. If you look at it, and I'm pretty sure Laney, who's probably so used to all the time just punting, now you're being thrusted into the offense, being an offensive player. Wasn't expecting it, but you know what? Next man up. That's the best way how I'd look at it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, with Dallas Crescenzo, the Purdue commit, and standout junior, still dealing with that ankle injury. So on 3rd down, another free play with Elgin offside, but this time they're going to blow the play dead. Officials can do that when they think the defensive player has an unabated route to the quarterback, or if he makes contact with the offensive line. It is offside, and it's the second straight play where Elgin spots Bastrop 5 yards. We've gone from 3rd and 12 to 3rd and 2 now.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do, especially when you're down 14-0. Discipline. I know you're trying to get in position, be able to try to beat the snap, maybe try to get some type of edge. But you know something? You just on 2 plays in a row, you went from a 3rd and long to now 3rd and manageable and it's not good on your defense.
Weston rolls to his right. Under pressure, he changes directions and has room to run. Nielsen inside the 20, and then a great job by the Elgin defender to get off his block. And then some pushing and shoving here at the bottom of the pile. The Bastrop offensive line is saying, hey, guys, get off our quarterback.
And you know something? That's what you want to see. And that's what I definitely like to see with from their offensive line.
We've got some jawing right now. Sorry
Yes.
to cut you off, Sasha. Jake Greedle is out between the hashes trying to get his team away from Elgin. There was some jawing behind the play. Both the offensive lineman and Gary Jefferson Jr. were involved. Nielsen looked like he was going to run for that first down, but a really nice job of getting off the block by the defender. And it is 4th down and 4 for Bastrop officially, down at the 19. Unless there was a flag thrown late, I don't see one. 38 seconds to go in the first quarter. I'm not sure why the clock is stopped.
I think they're going to discuss. I think they're discussing it with Coach. They're discussing everything with them.
Yeah, watching that play again, a really nice job by Bryce Barron to get away from the block. Bastrop's receiver out on the edge was really careful not to commit a block in the back. And then there was both jawing behind the play with Jefferson Jr. and jawing during the play with the Elgin defender staying on top of Nielsen for a little longer than Bastrop's offensive line liked. So some tempers running high in this one as the clock now rolls. 4th and 4, the Bears are going for it. They need to get to about the 16-yard line. 4 receivers set for Nielsen. Hard count, and the Wildcats don't bite. Weston gets the checks at the line and sets the protection. 3 on the play clock, and he gets the snap. Nielsen stands in, fires a low fastball, and it's caught inside the 5. A first down for Bastrop. Zach Wilkinson with an acrobatic rolling catch.
Oh, you got to go to old Reliable, who was able to just go down their slide and get the ball and the first down.
That was a low throw from Nielsen, but an excellent job by Wilkinson in getting open. Good timing on the play, and it's 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. And now a stop and play. The first quarter comes to a close, and Bastrop right on the front doorstep of taking a 3-score lead. Big 4th down conversion from Nielsen to Wilkinson, and it's all Bastrop early, despite some good defensive effort by Elgin. 14-zip here on Vype Live.
The team at E3 Wealth has deep ties with the Bastrop community, including longtime Bastrop residents Mark Caldwell and Chad Benoit, along with Bastrop alum Joe Quartucci and Bastrop Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Taylor. They want to wish the Bastrop football team, along with all the other athletic programs, good luck this season. Go Bears!
Back here at Elgin, where Bastrop will have 1st and goal from the 3-yard line on the first snap of quarter number 2. And Sasha, I have to say, Elgin's defense has come out and put up a pretty good fight so far tonight. It's just their offense right now. They can't get anything going. And as a result, Bastrop on the doorstep of really taking control.
And that's the thing when your offense. That's just like when you know one your body parts is not connecting with the other one, and nothing is really in sync together. Your defense is not really showing up. They're stopping Gary Jefferson from really doing anything, and they're really forcing a couple of 4th downs from this high-powered offense. Their offense just hasn't been able to do anything. I mean, nothing.
Remember, it's an Elgin defense with only 2 real returners who played any meaningful snaps last year. Those are Matthew Clear and Lewis Reese. Reese back in the lineup tonight after missing that Crockett game with an injury. On 1st and goal, Jefferson Jr. up the middle, brought down by Lewis Reese, about a half a yard short, and a late flag just came in. And we'll see who this is on.
Yeah, I'm trying to see exactly what happened, because when Gary came in, was going in, and it looks like he was brought down, maybe brought down around his neck. Maybe there's holding. We're about to find out.
The official is mic'd up tonight.
After the play, personal foul, number 1 on the defense. Half distance to the goal, first down.
The call a personal foul against Jeremiah Nicholson, who's playing both ways. So instead of 2nd and goal, it is 1st and goal from about the 6-inch line here for the Bears. And Nielsen under center. Gets the snap, gives Jefferson Jr. Hammers it up the middle and into the end zone. And then he's brought down late. And now Jake Greedle and company are on the field trying to separate these two teams again. It's a touchdown for Gary Jefferson Jr., and it's emotions boiling over for both sides. And Bastrop has a 20-0 lead for the time being. We'll see how they assess the penalties.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he broke the plane, and they just got him and just threw him down. And number 10, Bryce Barron, is just sitting there. It looks like he was just going to the sideline like, what, with his hands down, like, what are we looking, what's going on here, what's going on? But the play was over with. He broke the plane. They should have threw him down like that. That seemed like that was really personal. And number 0, if you look at that Michael Mejias, he's really upset about something also. They're trying to calm him down.
It looks to me, actually, like Mejias, number 0, was trying to tell his teammates to calm down, but It's hard to guess from up here exactly what's being said down there. Obviously, a lot of emotions tied up in the game. Gary Jefferson Jr. transferring over from Elgin, where he was part of their playoff team a year ago. Elgin has really tackled him hard tonight, and at times, like you mentioned, a little bit late for Jake Greedle and the Bears' liking. But on the goal line, right, it's not like Jefferson Jr. was standing in the end zone. I don't think they had called a touchdown yet, so I will give Elgin the benefit of the doubt there. Let's see what the official calls.
After the play, personal foul, number 10 on the defense. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Yeah, they did get it on Barron, who, like you said, brought down Jefferson Jr. late. And it all depends, really, on when that whistle was blown and when they called the touchdown, right? Because you're allowed to try and keep him out of the end zone, but at that point the play was over, the tackle was made, officials said, no, that's too late, let's throw a flag.
Right. And, you know, I guess the former football player in me, they always say play to the whistle, play to the whistle. And I didn't hear a whistle, but again, I guess they're probably looking at the way how he was thrown down. And they're trying to calm everybody's nerves down because emotions are high tonight.
So it's a touchdown for Gary Jefferson Jr. in his homecoming game. He's got about 30 yards on the ground tonight, and that his first TD of the game and his 20th total touchdown, if you count both receiving, rushing, and kick returning this season. What a year it's been.
20 touchdowns so far, and with two more games left, I would like to know if he's going to probably break the 30 mark with all that right now, because he could probably be on pace with that. He's just been unstoppable all season.
And a lot of those touchdowns having to do with the great work Bastrop does up front. Aaron Barcenas, the left tackle. Left guard Isaiah Walker-Lopez back in the lineup tonight after a minor injury held him out against Navarro. He's a senior leader up there. Braxton Bowden is the center, another senior, joined by Riley Williams at right guard, and Zach Werchin, big sophomore right tackle, perhaps a future left tackle for this Bastrop team.
And that's where, and you know something? I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to try to make it quick. When I was younger, I wasn't a big fan of the offensive line, but then I realized you can't win without that offensive line. I remembered that when Denver played Green Bay, and how that offensive line destroyed that big defensive line, and how they dominated. That's when I started respecting the offensive line. You got an offensive line, there's a lot you can be able to do.
Yeah, they are the engine beneath the belly of this Bastrop Bear Beast.
They are the unsung heroes, because we've been talking a lot about the skill position players. We talked about Weston, we talked about Gary, we talked about Dallas, we talked about Zach, Brent, but we don't really talk about the offensive line and how they keep Weston upright, how they open the holes for Gary. They give the protection. That's the main thing, and we have to give them their respect.
So a reminder, because of the penalty, the officials had to march this kickoff all the way up to the 45, and it is windy down there. You can see it blowing right to left from where you're watching at home. It just fell off the tee for Velasquez. He sent a couple of kickoffs with the wind all the way back to Bastrop tonight. Here, against the wind, he should have no problem sending it through the end zone from this yardage. And, well, it's going to hang up there in the end zone thanks to that breeze. Mejias on the return. He is plastered out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That's a whale of a special teams play made by Kenneth Hunt. Actually, it might have been Grayson Thompson in there on the tackle.
And that has been Bastrop's second special teams all season long. Their coverage team has been impeccable, unmatched. It's like whenever nobody has been able to get. It's very rare that you got to the 20, if that.
You know, as easily as Velasquez probably could have kicked that ball through the end zone, it was almost like he used the wind to have it hang up there and allow his coverage team time to get down there and pin the Wildcats back. Really good job there by the kickoff unit, just like you said, all season long. And from their own 13-yard line, Flores and the Wildcats. Hand off, right side, Tiki Hola. Big wingspan. Moves the Wildcats backwards. Another negative play on the ground caused by the Bears defense.
It's just, again, this is something that we've been seeing so far. Running right up the middle. They're not getting anything. They were lucky enough to get a 4-yard gain on their last drive. When you're going up against this front, they have been able to get past those guards and not being able to, and pulling up that line.
Flores hands to Nicholson this time, and he's able to get past the first layer. Chris Rockwell brought him down from behind after a respectable chunk of yardage there. Looks like a gain of about 6 to set up 3rd down and 5 for Elgin.
It looks like he was able to find a little crease, was able to just get through there and get a pretty good chunk of yards and make this at least 30 manageable.
Wildcats are looking for their first down of the night. This is their 5th possession. They've punted 3 times and fumbled the football once. Bastrop blitzing as Flores pitches it out towards Mejias. He is hogtied. Oh, baby. Out on the edge, the Bears in hot pursuit. That is Case Benoit bringing up 4th down.
And that's one thing that happened. This is when you do your homework. When you have a quarterback and they do the option, low speed option, go after the pitch man, get the just really stop that play for a big loss and force another punt.
It has been 7 quarters since Bastrop's defense has allowed a point. And it has now been 5 drives to start this game. They have yet to allow a first down. Really stout defensive performance from Quentin Harlan's crew here on the road as Soto punts it with the wind. Gary's going to get a chance on the return. He fumbles the ball, and he's able to scramble back on top of it before Matthew Clear could get it for Elgin.
Looks like he got a little bit excited, tried to probably want to make a play, and he took his eyes off the prize, almost caused another return. I can tell you right now, Gary, that's one bad thing about him. He has a couple of fumbles on the season. Ball control, he's going to need to really work on that.
It didn't look like he ever quite handled that punt cleanly. But either way, it is another drive for Bastrop, starting in positive field position. Remember, they had the penalty-aided kickoff earlier to pin Elgin back. These are the hidden yards that Jake Greedle told me were so important for his team. They've done a really good job controlling field position so far this season. Nielsen is blitzed, and he is thrown down. That is Reese screaming off the edge unblocked. And Nielsen hit the turf hard.
Came out of nowhere. I'm over here looking at it. Weston just dropped back, and next thing you know, Reese was just right there and dropped him for a huge loss.
Reese was somebody that Jake Greedle said jumped out to him on film. He was worried about where number 33, Reese, would line up if he was able to give it a go tonight. After missing last week's game, Reese is back in there, and that is his first sack of this evening's game. Wilkinson in motion as Nielsen under pressure again fires a screen, and Jefferson Jr. has it, but he's forced out of bounds. Nice job of staying at home that time by Zaylin McCoy, the sophomore defensive back, stopping Jefferson Jr. for a loss.
That was a good defense, good homework. That's where film session comes in, where you were able to just sit here and pay attention to Gary when it came to pass play and when it came to a passing situation, stopping him from before he was able to get going. Because when he was going to get going, we knew what was going to happen.
So this is 3rd and long. Not only is it 3rd and about 17 here, but it is against the wind. 8:41 to go, second quarter. Bastrop has scored on its last 3 possessions, but this one not going quite according to plan. and a timeout is called by Jake Greedle. We'll take it with him here in the second quarter. You're watching Bears football here on Vype Live. We appreciate you joining us for this district matchup in Elgin.
For over 30 years, E3 Wealth has been challenging the status quo on how people think about their money. There are a ton of options when it comes to tax and finance, but most of them use a one-size-fits-all approach. With E3, you will get something tailored for you. If you're ready for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, please reach out to our Bastrop office at 512-549-3931 or email us at info@e3wealth.com.
Jake Herman, Sasha Robinson with you here from Wildcat Stadium. Elgin's defense forcing Bastrop behind the chains. They've done this a few times here tonight. Bears had to punt on their opening drive, but they've taken advantage of great starting field position to score on their next 3 possessions to build a 21-0 lead. Nielsen needs to get to the Elgin 39. He flutters it towards the sticks. It's caught. Rangel jukes his way past the 30 and stays on his feet down the sideline to the 18-yard line. On 3rd and 18, the Bears get 36.
And Rangel is making up for that drop on the first play of the game, on their first possession. And the first time he got a score, this time he got a big, great gain on 3rd and forever.
And looks like an injury here along the back end of the Wildcat defense. Going down suddenly behind the play was one of the Wildcats, but he is up and talking with the training staff now. So we'll step aside with 8:22 to go. First quarter, Bastrop moves the chains and sets up first and 10 in the red zone.
Most accountants look back at last year. Most advisors won't talk taxes at all. At E3 Wealth, we focus forward on what's possible. Every dollar you don't send to Uncle Sam is a dollar you can invest, enjoy, or pass on. That's why we build proactive tax strategies for today and tomorrow. Don't pay more than your fair share. Contact E3 Wealth in Bastrop today at 512-549-3931 or by email at info@e3wealth.com. Go Bears!
Bears with the football as they've had for most of this matchup so far. 8:22 to go here in the first half. Bastrop's first score came on a 46-yard button hook taken for a long run after the catch by Diego Rangel. Then on their ensuing possession, Bastrop scored on an 11-yard Weston Nielsen keeper on a little speed option concept. And then Gary Jefferson Jr. punched it in from 1 yard away to make it 21-0. This drive started on the Elgin 45, backed up all the way to the Bastrop 40, but a big conversion on 3rd down from Nielsen to Rangel sets up the offense with a chance to put a little more distance between the Bears and their local foes. Nielsen throws over the middle, and that is caught for a touchdown. It's Brent Carter, his 4th score in the last 2 games. And Bastrop on top now, 27-0 pending the PAT.
What a good, on the snap route, he was able to just get in there and just walk right in. For some reason, I'm glad that you saw it because I thought that he dropped it, but the way how the play kept going, he caught it, he was able to walk in. Nice snap route, was able to get that inside position.
So another big play made by Carter. Extra point is good. And, Jake Greedle told me Brent Carter can be a game changer for this Bastrop offense. Now with Dallas Crescenzo out, they need him to be a game changer. But the thing is, Brent has to start believing it. Plays like that will certainly build belief for the senior tight end for Bastrop.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I told my son this. You can have all the talent in the world, but when you believe that you have all the talent in the world, that's when you can be able to take off. And when that's when, like you said, we've seen him make plays all season. But when he starts believing that he is really as good as he is, the sky's the limit.
That's his 6th touchdown catch of the year. He has nearly 400 yards receiving now on the campaign. 2 catches in this one tonight for Carter. Last year he had 7 touchdowns, including the game-winning score late in that district final against Liberty Hill. I say district final, it was the last regular season game in District 11 5A D2, but it decided the district, helping Bastrop claim a district crown for the first time since 2009. And doing so again, one of the many goals of this 2025 Bastrop team. Kickoff fielded by Elgin, and then a wave of Bears bring the ball carrier down inside the 15. The return man was Wyatt Cooper, and he evaded a couple of tacklers but only got back out to the 15-yard line. There is a marker down along the far side of the field, so we'll hold on and wait for the official word.
And that's normally with that, sometimes it's probably going to be holding.
Here's the call.
Sideline warning.
Oh, sideline warning.
Bastrop.
Bears getting a little close to the action that time, so no penalty yardage there, just a little sideline warning so that the next time it would be 15.
And, you know, maybe you got a little bit too excited, but you know what? Getting kind of close to every, you got to have more than too many people on the field. Calm down for a moment and just, you know, just get back.
Bears defense trying to get back to wreaking havoc, as they've done for most of this one so far here tonight. On first down, Nicholson gonna throw, and he had a man open deep. Pass was a little too tall for its target. That was Andre Simmons, the junior, who is the Wildcats' leading receiver tonight. He has 7 catches, 121 yards this year. Nicholson through the air has completed now 6 of 12, and that's what Rich Lucera told me. He's got a good deep ball throw. It's almost better than his intermediate. So when number 1's back there and throwing, you can almost expect it to go deep.
Yeah, and when I was looking at it from the rollout, that was just really ill-advised or blown coverage. And from Bastrop, they have to stay with those receivers regardless.
Flores fakes the handoff, now keeps it to the right, but just runs out of real estate. Edge was set that time by Regalado. And Rockwell in on another tackle. We've called his name a lot so far tonight.
And, I mean, that's something when you have a defender who's not Tiki Hola, who's just all over the place. And they have been really making a name. This defense has really made a name for themselves.
3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. No gain officially on that run by Flores. Flores drops back under pressure, throws a screen. It's caught underneath by Nicholson, and he is brought down. Open field tackle by Kenneth Hunt. Holds it to no gain and brings up another Elgin punt.
And he had to get rid of the ball real quick. In the moment he went underneath, they were all over him. That just goes to show, and I hate to say it like this, when you don't have a real passing threat, and and your offensive line isn't really protecting, you got to get rid of the ball real quick on these passing downs. That's really a feast for a defense that's just like Bastrop's.
Hey, I'd get rid of the ball quickly too if I had big Austin Moylan bearing down on me. Good thing I'll never have to experience that as this punt goes up into the jet stream, angled out of bounds away from Jefferson Jr. That's a solid job by Christian Soto, who will boot this one to the 47-yard line. So about a 40-yard punt, all net because it goes out of bounds. And Bastrop takes over with 6:18 to go in this second quarter. And this, goes back to the point that Jay Greedle was making. This defensive line is so good, it's allowing these linebackers to almost eat at the buffet, with Moylan and Arnold rushing the quarterback, coming downhill to stop running plays. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Again, I'm a big Niner fan, and when you have somebody like Nick Bosa, the good, solid defensive line, you can have your linebackers. They're free to do whatever they want. It's great being able to do something. That's exactly what we're seeing with Bastrop.
Give to Garrett Jefferson Jr., and he gets free and spins his way out past the first down marker to the 44-yard line. Call it the 43, and call it a gain of 10 to move the chains.
And that was a good way, again, on offensive line. parted the Red Sea, let him just be able to just get a burst for 10 yards.
Elgin, by and large, done a better job than most of Bastrop's opponents in recent games in slowing down Jefferson Jr., but we'll see how long that lasts. Nielsen, under pressure from Reese, rolls to his left and has acres of space out past the 30, inside the 20 and out of bounds before a Wildcat could touch him. That's a scramble of about 20 yards for Weston Nielsen, who's using his legs to great effect tonight.
Again, that left side was that right side was collapsing. What happened? He was just able to just roll out, and it was just wide open for him, just being able to just get the first in and plenty more.
You're right. Certainly did not look like the design there, but Nielsen, good recognition of the open space. He takes advantage, and Bastrop has it at the 20 now. Weston drops back, fires wide open. Wilkinson cuts inside, and he is tackled at about the 11-yard line by Joshua Foy, the sophomore safety for Elgin. Not before a gain of about 9.5 to set up second and very short.
Just a good way of firing the ball in there. Was able to just get the ball in there to Zach. Was just able to just turn up and just get some really good yards.
Carter split out wide to the bottom of the screen. Give goes to Jefferson Jr., and he scampers up the middle, right through the defense, and in for 6. Second touchdown in the homecoming game for Gary Jefferson Jr. This one from 12 yards away makes it 34-0.
Just parted the Red Sea again. I mean, that we might as well call the Bastrop offensive line Moses, because they are parting the Red Sea, and he's just being able to just run right, go right through there and into the end zone.
Hey, I thought Moses Martinez played defense.
Moses Martinez does play defense, but Moses, they're parting that Red Sea.
Yeah, that was a nice job of clearing space. Jefferson Jr. able to find the hole, and the extra point is no good from Carbajal. Looked like the wind took that one wide right. So Bastrop settles for a 34-0 advantage. 4:39 to go here in the second quarter on Vype.
Most accountants look back at last year. Most advisors won't talk taxes at all. At E3 Wealth, we focus forward on what's possible. Every dollar you don't send to Uncle Sam is a dollar you can invest, enjoy, or pass on. That's why we build proactive tax strategies for today and tomorrow. Don't pay more than your fair share. Contact E3 Wealth in Bastrop today at 512-549-3931 or by email at info@e3wealth.com. Go Bears!
Well, it took the Bears offense a little bit of an extra minute to get started tonight, but they're now large and in charge, 34-0, 4:39 to go second quarter. Jake Herman, Sasha Robinson on hand here at Elgin, the home of the Wildcats, who are 1-6, but hung 70 on Crockett last week. Outside of that, it's an Elgin offense that had struggled a little bit to score, just 47 points entering last week's contest when they were able to find their stride. And they should find it a little bit easier in coming weeks at Connolly next Thursday night, and then hosting Navarro to close things out. But they would love to find some kind of positive momentum as an offense before halftime in this one. As the squib kick fielded up at the 25, good hands by Elgin special teams up at the 34-yard line. This will be the Wildcats' best starting field possession of the day, thanks to Mejias.
Yeah, but this one, I know that they're going to probably be like, yeah, look, we're inside the 30, but it was just, but I mean, if you can realize the special team was really on top of you the moment he touched the ball.
And they'll spot it, looks like at about the 35 officially. For a Wildcat team still looking for its first down tonight. And these gusty winds definitely not making life any easier on the passing game. We've seen a couple of uncharacteristic drops from Bastrop. The wind maybe having something to do with that. And the wind certainly helped carry Nicholson's throw too far the one time the Wildcats had a chance with a busted assignment to make a big play happen. Flores hands it off here, up the middle, keeping his legs driving forward for a gain of 2 yards, hard-earned yards. Couldn't tell that time who got the carry.
Gain of 3 on the play, second down and 7.
Still sorting through that pile. Looked like the helmet came off late from the runner. That was Darion Traylor, a sophomore who broke out in a big way last week with a couple of touchdown runs against Crockett. Sophomore tailback will have to check out for a play while he gets a different helmet. J.J. Reed comes in to take his place. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 2nd and 7 for Elgin at their own 38. Flores flutters over the middle, and it's hauled in. Catch made by Mejias, and for the first time tonight, Elgin able to move the sticks.
Good. Hey, that's a good play action. Just kind of draw the linebackers up, and what happens, I left the middle of the field open for Mejias, and he was able to just catch the ball, slide down for the first. But it all started with that play action because, again, this is what they've been seeing all game. Take advantage of it.
Mejias, who lines up a little bit of everywhere for the Wildcats, now lined up on the left side. They're a little bit disorganized, and a timeout is called as a result by Coach Rick.
You're not talking.
Timeout. Elgin.
Looks like I might have kicked a wire out there. Got a little too excited after that timeout. We'll use the timeout to tell you a little bit about Coach Lucero, who took over this program for Heath Clausen, but he's not a new face for these Elgin guys. He was an offensive coordinator under Heath Clausen starting in 2021, but this year he was hired kind of late in the offseason process, so no spring football for Coach Lucero at the helm for this group. Him and his assistants, including Keegan Howard, who works with the freshmen, the fullbacks, the tight ends, have been really trying to help this young team put the pieces together and learn on the fly. He said, thank goodness we've had a senior offensive line because those guys up front have set a really good example for the younger guys in purple this year. And they've held up well on the beginning of this drive so far. 1st and 10 at the 46 for Elgin. And Flores hands off. That is a free rusher and a tackle for loss. Austin Moylan brought down Darion Traylor right when the football arrived. That's a mailbox tackle.
Yeah, that's something as a runner when you get the ball and you have somebody right in front of you. It's like only thing you have to do is just protect the ball and just go down because you don't have enough time to be able to make a play, to make a move or do something, anything like that. You're just going to have to give up and just go for another play.
Traylor remains the tailback. Mejias and Andre Simmons are the receivers near side. Flores hands to Traylor. Looking for space, won't find it. Bastrop able to roam out on the edge. And Case Benoit there to meet Traylor at the point of attack. And that will likely send us to the 2-minute timeout with 2:02, 2:01, and counting. When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 12 for Elgin. Bastrop will receive the ball to start the second half. They're trying to get it back before the half here on Vype.
For over 30 years, E3 Wealth has been challenging the status quo on how people think about their money. There are a ton of options when it comes to tax and finance, but most of them use a one-size-fits-all approach. With E3, you will get something tailored for you. If you're ready for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, please reach out to our Bastrop office at 512-549-3931 or email us at info@e3wealth.com.
On a busy night in high school football with lots of games moving their kickoff times up to accommodate the storm systems coming in later tonight, we have some scores to give you. Some games you'll notice a little bit ahead of ours. At the half, in Westlake, at the Battle of the Lakes, Drew Brees getting his jersey retired there tonight, by the way. Lake Travis leads Westlake 13-7. Kind of a defensive battle as expected there. We'll get you some more scores as the night rolls along, keeping you posted on all the games around the area. Flores on 3rd and 12, throws a screen too high and nearly intercepted. Bastrop Bear that had a chance at it that time was Chris Rockwell, who has been everywhere tonight. Tiki Hola kind of limps off to the side. We'll keep an eye on Tiki, who's walking under his own power to grab some water. It's 4th down and 12 for Elgin. Clock stops with 1:54 to go. Soto's been a busy man tonight, their punter. He'll send it away for the 7th time.
Yeah, and I mean, he's probably been the most active person so far all game. Their defense has shown sparks, been put up a little fight, but when you have a good offense against a defense like theirs, it's not really working.
That's a pretty wobbly kick, but it takes a friendly hometown bounce for Elgin, rolling all the way to the 20-yard line. So a punt of about 34, all net for Soto.
Jake, just one thing that I don't think Elgin wants a position I don't think they want to be in right now, and I'm referring to Elgin right now. They're, Bastrop's off. You don't want to give Bastrop the ball, go down and score, and then they get the ball back at the second half. This is, they're already in a big, deep hole. You're going to have to find a way to stop them and prevent them from really increasing this lead up by more, so it go down at least 48-0.
That would be the Bastrop plan here, trying to double dip once before the half and once on their first drive of the second half. 2 timeouts, minute 39 to go. Nielsen fires out to the flat. Rangel ducks out of bounds after a gain of about 4 yards on the out route. Seen Diego get peppered with targets tonight. Had that drop on a would-be touchdown on Bastrop's first snap of the game. And since then, he's been perfect when Nielsen's looked his way.
Like I said, when you concentrate, you gotta let that go. You're gonna get a drop, but it's all about when they come back to you. Quarterbacks, that just shows that when you get that confidence, like, I'm coming back to you. Make the play.
Weston on 2nd and 6. Reese rushing, and Weston flutters, and it's caught. Rangel again, turning out past the 40, breaks 2 tacklers, but then Elgin able to swarm him. At the 42-yard line, Rangel has it for a gain of 18 yards. He's having his best night of district play.
There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, let's see if this is going to come back or perhaps something at the end of the play against Elgin. Here's the call.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Number 55. 15 yards from the end of the run.
Yeah, you heard the call loud and clear. Love having the official in the PA system here. Hayden Carnes, the senior defensive lineman, guilty of the penalty. And that has been something that's plagued Elgin a little bit tonight. Emotions running high. They've played right on that edge, but gotten flagged now 3 times for dead ball fouls.
And again, that's where coaching has to come in there, and you got to settle your team down, because right now these penalties have really hurt them.
It helps Bastrop move into Wildcat territory at the 44. High snap for Nielsen, who fires out to Wilkinson on the screen. Zach can't shake his man. That's a tackle for Mejias after a gain of just 2. Now Jake Greedle sees the clock and calls timeout. I'm sure he would have loved Wilkinson to maybe get out of bounds there. Yeah. But instead he has to burn a timeout. 1 left for Bastrop with 1:03 to go.
Yeah, Zach, I understand he was going to try to shake and bake and do something, but that extra footwork really came back to haunt you guys. It would have never hurt. Just like you said, get out of bounds. You could have been able to, and you could have saved that timeout in your pocket, and been able to run another play. But now you got one more timeout. You're going to have to be smart on the with the minute 3 left.
Talking about Wilkinson this week, Jake Greedle talked about the way he stepped up and really showed out after Dallas Crescenzo's injury with 5 touchdowns in that Connolly game. He said that was just one of those things where he calms the whole team down. He's been on varsity since his freshman year. Some of that was out of necessity. And all of that experience, even though he didn't have the biggest year from a stat perspective as a freshman or a sophomore, that experience has really helped him earn Weston Nielsen's trust. Those two have been working together now for the last 3 years at the varsity level. And that's what helped him really take the spotlight when Crescenzo went down. 2nd and 8. Nielsen, a little pump fake. Shimmies out to his left, being chased, and he will dump it down incomplete in the direction of Carter. Weston maybe just trying to throw that thing away, thanks to a good pass rush from the Wildcats.
If I looked at it, it looks like he was trying to. He had a little pump fake into Zach, and Zach had stuff, but that safety was sitting back there. Was not, and he didn't want to just chance it. Tried to create. Nobody was there. Just threw the ball away. Good football play by Weston.
Wind is really whipping up, which can help Elgin from a defensive perspective. It is blowing right back in Nielsen's face here, so making it a little more difficult for him to push the ball downfield. 3rd and 8, 55 seconds to go. Weston fires in the flat. That's caught. Wind be darned. It's a laser beam out to Rangel, right at the sticks for a first down.
Good one. Out route, was able to just get it, and the sting is at number 5. Nate Perkins was just off of them. Sometimes, it's okay to be off of them, but you know what? You were way, way off your man.
It's a sophomore, Perkins, drawing the assignment of Rangel tonight. As Nielsen in the pocket, fires deep, and it's incomplete. You just saw the wind kind of knock that one down. A little underthrown, intended for Brent Carter.
And he had steps. Brent had him. And the wind just took him. And I'm pretty sure if it was a clear night, it would have just let him right into the end zone.
So instead, it's 2nd and 10, 43 seconds to go in the half. Bastrop leading 34-0, scoring on its last 5 possessions. 1 timeout left in the Bears' back pocket. Nielsen, plenty of time, loads up, fires, incomplete. That time it went through the hands of his intended target. Looked like he was going for Carter in the back of the end zone. Couldn't quite haul it in.
And this time, it looks like they ran the same play, because I think that it looks like they had something. This time we can't blame it on the wind. That just went right through your hand, Brent.
Got to be an interesting challenge down there for Nielsen tonight, with the way it's really swirling around down there. Pretty consistent, gusty, 25-mile-an-hour winds. And you can see it in the flags, really bending and moving around those grandstands.
Yeah, that wind is really out there.
3rd and 10, pass rush comes, Nielsen spins free. Now he jukes, runs upfield, and has the first down inside the 20. And then he lost the football late, or rather lost his helmet. It's a first down for Bastrop. That was a helmet down, not a football, I beg your pardon. Clock stops while they reset the chains, 24 seconds to go. And because Nielsen lost his helmet, would have had to sit a play. So Jake Greedle calls his timeout to avoid that.
And that's where, again, that's a pretty good smart play. Instead of just being able to just bring the backup in, call your timeout with 21 seconds left. You got a couple of plays where you can be able to take a couple of shots at the end zone. You have some good monsters out there who can be able to get the jump ball, and even try to get a mismatch with Gary out there. Maybe you could probably do something. They have the playbook is wide open with this.
Looks like they put 2 seconds back on the clock, so make it 23 seconds to go. Like you said, no more timeouts for Bastrop, so have to be mindful here of either getting in the end zone or getting out of bounds. Can't get tackled inbounds here unless it's inside the purple paint.
Yes. And that's where you're going to have to figure out how you're going to do this. Are you going to try to they can go to the outside, they can probably go to the sidelines because their corners are playing off of them. If you notice, if you look at it, they're playing off their receivers, so they can be able to just try to hit them deep. Hit them on these out routes.
Good test here late in the half for Bastrop in situational football. Nielsen steps up, climbs the pocket, throws high and incomplete, intended for Laney. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Just noticed something, a little bit of shuffling on the Bastrop offensive line. I don't see Zach Werchin in there right now. Isaiah Walker-Lopez was lined up at right tackle on that last play. And Lamont Owens has shifted over to take his position at left guard. So no Werchin right now. I don't know if that's injury related or perhaps putting Walker-Lopez out there to try to negate the impact of the dynamic edge rusher Reese, who sacked Nielsen earlier in the quarter. So on 2nd and 10, Weston stands in. Runs to his right. Throws to the end zone, just out of reach of Caden Laney. He was looking for Laney again.
They're really trying to get Laney involved. This is the third time they got to him. 2 dropped. This one was overthrown. So, yeah, they're really wanting to get him involved really, really quick.
So only 12 seconds left in the half, and a field goal might be difficult from here with the wind going against Bastrop. Jay Greedle said he's comfortable with Isaac Velasquez from about 40 yards away. It would be about a 35, 36-yarder from here, but with the wind, that's more like a 45-yarder tonight. So that might not be on the table. Nielsen rolling left, fires in the flat. It's behind his intended target, Rangel, and incomplete. Only took 5 seconds. 7 seconds remaining. It's 4th down.
And I tell you right now, and let's just play the hypothetical game. If Bastrop does not get this, Elgin has got to really tip their hands up with their defense for getting the stop, because when it looks like Bastrop was about to go in to score, they really dug in, got Weston off of his square, as they would say, and not being able to really be complete passes.
So could be the final play of the first half. 7 seconds to go. Bastrop does not have a timeout. They can get a first down at the 11. Nielsen throws over the middle, and it's through the hands of Rangel. Ran a great route to get open, couldn't squeeze the pigskin, and it's a turnover. 2 seconds left in the half. Elgin likely going to take a knee.
And that is something what we were just talking about a moment ago about Rangel after that drop. The second one that looks like he was about to walk into the end zone, and he just dropped it. You got, you've been having a good game after that one. You had that drop. Come on, you got to bring that in.
So that's one the Bears will like to have back, and Elgin does get the stop it desired at the end of the half. We'll see what they do here with only 2 seconds. They've picked up 1 first down offensively tonight. Bastrop just 1 play away from making it 8 straight quarters without allowing a point. Last time they were scored on, Connolly's final drive of the first half a few weeks ago. They'll run it up the middle, and Traylor gains 1, and that's the way the first half ends. Bastrop on top by a score of 34-0. 2 touchdowns on the ground for Gary Jefferson Jr. in his homecoming game. Weston Nielsen, 1 touchdown with his legs, 2 with his arm. But boy, he could have had 1 more there towards the end of that first half.
Yeah, and again, you could have, would have, should have, but they get the ball back, and they can be able to see if they can be able to add on to this. But like I said, Elgin's defense has got to be, at least they can be able to tip their hat onto that. That's something that they can actually say positive. We stopped them 2 times, especially when they were going in when it looks like they had the chance. So good play, and I'm excited to see how the second half is going to turn out.
So we'll step aside. If you're watching with us here on Vype Live, don't be afraid to drop us a like and show some love here for this Vype Live broadcast, brought to you for free for throughout the season as the Bastrop Bears look to stay unbeaten. They are off to a strong start here on the road at Elgin, score of 34-0. We'll step aside for halftime, bring you some of the performances from both the Wildcat Band and the Bastrop Drill Team, the Honey Bears, as well as the Bastrop Band that always does a terrific job, the pride of the Lost Pines. We'll come back with a first half recap and some scores from around the region in just a little bit, but go grab some snacks, some drinks, and come back with us for second half action in just a little bit here on Vype Live.
Bastrop High School, the 25-26 Bastrop Honey Bears. The Honey Bears are led by officers First Lieutenant Estelle Emilio, First Lieutenant Viviana Robles, and Captain Jennifer Fuentes. Social Officer Bradley Paradise, and Social Officer Sophia Zhao. The Honey Bears are under the direction of Mrs. Kara Pasquale. The Honey Bear of the Week is Hope Manning. The Spirit Girl of the Week is Delay Laduna. The Above and Beyond Girl is Addison Zambiani. And the Teacher of the Week is Coach Fleming. And now, please enjoy the Honey Bears as they perform their exciting Streamer Jazz routine to Runaway Baby. HOS Administration, and the Honey Bears Booster Club. And we would like to give a huge shout out to the Elgin Purple Diamonds dance team. Have an amazing season.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, Bastrop High School proudly presents the Pride of the Lost Times, the Bastrop High School Band. The band's 2025 show is titled Your Move and includes selections from Queen Symphony by Tola Kashi, Prologue to Chess by Tim Rice, with arrangements by Reed Atkinson and Ben Tiles. Our featured soloists are Chloe Flores on flute, Cash Lutz on trumpet, and Braden Fiskus on clarinet. Drum majors are Emma Estelor, Delilah Lopez, and Cash Lutz. And now, the Bastrop High School Band. band is under the direction of Kenneth Gilbreth, Jeffrey Gutierrez, Orion Wysocki, and Leo Navarro. The band would like to thank our marching techs, Bastrop band boosters and parents, the BHS teachers and administration. Shout out to our sponsor, Schlotsky. Let's hear it one more time for the Bastrop High School Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, now taking the field for your halftime entertainment are the award-winning Elgin Purple Diamonds dance team. They are performing one of their hip-hop routines to groove. The Purple Diamonds dance team is under the direction of Ashley Singsavan and Lauren David. Let the show begin. The line officers are Lieutenant Colonel Cheyenne Hunt, Major Alyssa Ruiz, and social officers are Vice President Gladys Enriquez Rivera, Social Officer Cassandra Boss, Director's Choice Melanie Lara Lopez, Diamond of the Week Emily Lugala, Spirit Girl of the Week Rebecca Alvarado.
and gentlemen, we are proud to present the award-winning Elgin High School Wildcat Marching Band. The band is led on the field by drum major Camila Ponce, Sahana Ward, and David Tinzuma. Band members of the week, as chosen by the directors, are freshman Stephanie Velasquez, sophomore Alia Avellaneda, junior Roger Lopez, senior Ana Sustaita, guard members Valerie and Madeline Bradford. Section of the week is alto saxophone. The Wildcat Marching Band will be performing their 2025 UIL program entitled Breathe. Musical selections are Pink Floyd's Breathe, In the Air, On the Run, Von Iver's Perth, and Brad Meldaw's Proverb of Ashes. Drum majors, you may take the field. Take it away, Wildcat. Bill Pro Mechanical, Elgin Chiropractic, Elgin Smiles, First National Bank, Jeanette Shelby Realty and Property Management, Tractor Supply, Davy J's Custom Tees, and Texas Twin Contractors. The Elgin High School Wildcat Band is directed by Armando Martinez, Andrew Armstrong, Christian Gonzalez, and Caleb Reimer, assisted by Larson McFadden and Danielle Martinez. The voice of the Wildcat Band is Nicole Borgart. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a wonderful evening.
So out of the tunnel come the Bears, getting ready to start the second half. They will receive the football with a 34-0 lead. Alongside Sasha Robinson, I'm Jake Herman on hand with you here at Wildcat Stadium. Hope you enjoy the performances of the Pride of the Lost Pines and the Elgin Wildcat Band as well. Always a fun tradition here in high school football, and the bands did not disappoint. Neither did that first half from the Bastrop perspective, and despite missing opportunities at both the beginning and the end of the half, you got to like what you saw throughout from the Bastrop offense as well as the defense, not allowing the Wildcats more than one first down in this one so far.
Yeah, that's where again where Bastrop is going to have to be able to do, because one thing that we've noticed is that with Bastrop, they've got so many electric plays down the field. They've scored on big plays. This time they've been able to take their time, being able to score and being methodical. When the big plays aren't there, they've been able to get there. Now, let's see if you can put this game to bed. That's the main thing what you want to do, even though they're up 34-0.
Well, the big plays came early and often for Bastrop offensively. Now, there's a couple more, like you hinted at, missed opportunities, but Diego Rangel on the receiving end of a 46-yard score where he did the majority of his damage after the catch. And then even the Bastrop scoring drives, which have ended in touchdowns inside the 20. Now the red zone offense been very efficient tonight in that regard. But even those drives marked by big third down conversions. The Bears have gotten behind the sticks a few times with a few more negative plays than usual, but it hasn't fazed Weston Nielsen in the slightest.
And that's one thing where we can honestly say about him. When he throws the turnover, any kind of turnover, he shakes it off and he's able to just keep his composure and been able to just really direct his team. And that's exactly what you want from your quarterback, to shake it off, forget about it. It's on to next time it's on to it. And you're not always going to have those big plays, and everything's not going to come your way. It's just about what you're going to do the next time you get the ball.
You talk to folks around this Bastrop team, they'll tell you nobody's better at shaking off a mistake than Weston Nielsen. And he just stays pretty even-keeled, even when things are going against him. And the same is true when things are going well for him. Doesn't get too high or too low. It's a part of his personality that he's always had. And his teammates really have been feeding off of it. It's been a resilient performance from the offense tonight in converting those long third downs. And they will get it to start the second half, as we alluded to. Christian Soto puts it on the tee and pooches it towards the open space. Coming up to make the grab and making some space across midfield and inside the 40 go the Bears with an excellent return. Boy, that sure backfired. Bastrop was ready for that short kickoff.
And guess who it was?
Yes, Jefferson Jr. hidden in that up back position. Not sure Elgin realized it was him over there. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have kicked it that way.
Yeah, because that's one thing that they've been doing when they were punting the ball, they're punting it away from him. So I don't think that they realized where he was. They just probably pushed it away. And he got it. He took, and I mean, mark my words, he was just probably a step away from taking it to the house.
Hat tip there to Anthony Brocado, the special teams coach for Bastrop, winning that sort of chess match. And, I mean, once again, field position on the plus side of the field. Every time the Bears have had it tonight, it's been at the 50 or better, and Jefferson Jr. gets free on the first play, puts on a juke move to the outside, and gets brought down from behind inside the 1. A 34-yard dash to start this drive.
When you have a back with the skill like Jefferson, you can do so much when you game plan to stop him. because eventually he's going to break free and he's going to take control of it. You see this all the time when you have a good back. Something like him, you're not going to be able to just hold him down all game.
Jefferson Jr. to Nielsen's right. Weston pulls it back, keeps it, and tosses one to his target for a score.
Here's the pass complete to number 5.
It was Brent Carter out on the edge, making the grab casually inside the pylon. 2 plays. It's a touchdown drive of 35 yards, and Bastrop picks up right where it left off with a score.
I was so lost on that play. I had to rely on everybody else to see what's happening. I'm running the camera. So if I was lost, I'm pretty sure everybody else must have.
Well, good thing Weston Nielsen wasn't, as Brent Carter gets his second touchdown catch of the night. That's 3 passing TDs for Nielsen in this one, bringing his total to 31 this season. It brings Bastrop's total up to 41 with 11:18 to go in the third quarter. Let's take a moment here and update you on some scores from around 5A Division II. We will get to some of the other classifications and regions as the night wears on. Liberty Hill in the district, a 51-0 lead over McCallum. They appear to be holding serve, the co-leaders in District 11 5A D2, perhaps on a collision course with Bastrop for that final day of the regular season. Of course, the Bears have to clear a big hurdle first next week in the form of Pflugerville. Pflugerville is, I believe, idle this week. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the district, Connolly, a big winner over Lehman last night. Pflugerville, I beg your pardon, not idle tonight. Sorry about that. Bad intel. They lead 41-7 over Crockett in the third quarter of that matchup. We'll get you some other scores. First now from 5A Division I, where Console leads Cedar Creek 45-0. College Station, a big winner over Lockhart tonight. Cedar Park defeats Lake Belton 49-21. As the kickoff is picked up here by Wyatt Cooper. And he gets out across the 35-yard line, running with some attitude to give Elgin its best starting field position of the night at the 38.
That's very rare with the very, 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 very rare that Bastrop's special teams coverage team lets anyone get past that 20. So he just made a miss. It was just able to turn it up that seam and was able to get a really good yard, a good one to get to the 38.
It's got to fire up Coach Lucero, too, who raved about Wyatt Cooper when we spoke earlier in the week. He said he's really a good example for his younger teammates. Unselfish player, plays the game the right way. As Flores fires a pass out to the flat, Mejias has blockers and scampers across midfield with first down yardage and a pickup of 12 for Elgin.
Good play out there. He was able to just get him, just be able to just throw it right out there. Saw the little hole out there, was just able to turn up. And by the time he was able to see a Bastrop defender, he was already at the first down marker.
So that little screen pass out to the flat works well for Coach Lucero and the Wildcats. Again, an offense that has had to try and develop a quarterback this year. Their QB, Dylan Owens, transferred to Hutto. Backwards pass here to Mejias, and this time the Bears were ready for it. Right when Mejias caught the ball, he had to contend with 3 or 4 Bears out in the flat, including Benoit and Kenan Moore. That time he loses a yard on the screen.
Remember last when they ran that little kind of option reverse play in the first quarter, and they got a big game. Then they did the same thing. Bastrop's defense is waiting. It seemed like that's the second thing that time they have to get a good play. Let's try it on the other side. Didn't work.
Yeah, good adjustment there by Bastrop defensively. Give here goes to Trailer, and he cannot. Well, I take that back. He's able to juke his way inside. There was a big collision along the right side of the line, and Trailer just bounced off like a bowling ball and cut inside to gain 6 yards. That's a nice run by the sophomore.
That was a really good bounce back, because he was able to just, because it looks like they had him in the backfield, but instead he was just able to turn up and get those needed yards to make this a good 30 manageable.
Trailer off to the right side of Flores in the shotgun. Flores swing pass out to the right side. Trailer is brought down and tripped up near the line of scrimmage. Austin Moylan able to track him down, and this will bring up 4th down and about 3 here for Elgin.
Looks like they're going to go for it. Might as well. You're down by 41. You're going to, and you finally get on the other side of the 50. So maybe you're going to can get a little bit of momentum here and try to get your offense going.
Certainly appears that way. Bastrop showing blitz. Flores back to pass. Looking deep right side, and it is incomplete. Little miscommunication there as the receiver that time, Mejias, broke off his route early. The throw sailed well over his head, but there is a marker down.
More than likely, there's going to be offsides on Bastrop.
On the defense, 5 yards, first down.
Yeah, a little mistake there by Bastrop. Defense jumped off sides, and that'll give Elgin a new set of downs on what's turning into their best drive of the night so far.
2 first downs where they're able to just be able to at least be able to try to build off on it, get a little bit of momentum. Like I said, get your offense something to work with. Maybe, like you said, you can be able to get a little bit of momentum with your offense.
Starting defense still out there for the Bears. Up 41-0 in the 3rd quarter. Trailer on the handoff, plants his foot, hit down low. Credit Rockwell and Moylan on the tackle.
Pick up 2, 2nd down and 8.
Just going right up the middle, right into the eye of the storm. It was just able to get 2 yards. It's very rare that they're able to just be able to get something on this Bastrop front.
Yeah, doing a better job, though, of staying on schedule. At least this drive are the Wildcats, looking for their first points against the Bastrop defense that has now gone 8 quarters without giving up a point. Flores, little option. That pitch is on the ground. And a good job by Michael Mejias to fall on top of it. Loses 3 yards on the play, and it sets up 3rd down and 11 here.
That's going to be 3rd down and 11.
And good again. They've tried to run that little option, and they rushed it. Was not expecting the pitch, but he was able to just get on it.
Yeah, well done there to prevent the turnover, but it does bring up 3rd and long, and you figure unless the Wildcats go backwards here, they're looking at 2 plays to try and get to the Bastrop 28 where the line to gain is. Flores back to pass, looking deep, right sideline, and that ball is hauled in. No, incomplete. Broken up late. Way to stay with the play, Mr. Willie White.
Of course it's Willie White. I'm telling you right now, it's very rare that anybody's catching anything on Willie White. That China Springs game does a couple, but he made amends by getting himself a pick 6. And I have not seen anybody catch a pass on him ever since that game.
Flores was looking for his fellow junior there, Andre Simmons. But Willie White, the senior with offer from University of Mary Hardin Baylor, big improver over the course of the season for this Bears defense, comes up with a nice PBU. And it can be difficult, like we discussed last week, when you're not facing a team that likes to throw the ball a whole lot. As a corner, you got to stay ready for your moment, and that's what Willie did right there.
Yeah, and that's one thing that they are doing. Is I know that there was that one play earlier in the 2nd quarter where there was like the blown assignment, and that could have probably went for 6, but
punt goes into the end zone for a touchback. Tough bounce there for Soto.
Yes.
As you were saying.
No, I was just saying that if you just think about with the way, regardless of the fact when you're playing somebody, when you're playing a team, even though that they're not known for throwing the ball, they have that in their arsenal.
There is a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, let's see what this marker is. The punt is a touchback if it stands. Looks like the Elgin defense is still trudging out onto the field, so if this is on Bastrop, it's rare to see a flag on the returning team when there's no return. It is going to be on Elgin because the referee is talking to Jake Greedle about what he wants to do with it.
Personal foul on the kicking team. Face mask, 15 yards, first down.
A little sloppy there. Face mask on the punt, even though there was no return. So Bastrop will get a better starting field position than they had anticipated, up to the 35.
Yeah, and again, you're already losing this game. You don't want to help them out with these unneeded personal fouls. There's been way too many personal fouls by Elgin so far in this game. They're helping out Bastrop.
Yeah, that's something I think a young team will learn as the handoff goes up the middle. And Jefferson Jr. ducks under a defender and gets to the outside. How did he do that? Gary Jefferson Jr. escapes a straitjacket and scores a 65-yard march. How did he get free?
Your guess is as good as mine. I thought he was tackled back over there at like for a 5-yard gain. Then all of a sudden, I'm seeing him gone for a long touchdown run. Welcome home, Gary Jefferson Jr.
Well, to quote the great Kevin Harlan, one of my broadcasting idols, you see a run like that, you say, he is Houdini.
Yes. Love Kevin Harlan. One of the reasons why I got into this.
Extra point from Carbajal is good, and Gary Jefferson Jr., after scoring from short range in the first half, he's come out and run really well to start the second. Had the 34-yard carry to start the half. That one goes for 65. It's now a 4-touchdown night for Gary Jefferson Jr. If that is his last carry of this homecoming game at Elgin, yeah, he's going to leave on a very happy note at his old stomping grounds.
I mean, what a way to come home. You know, one thing is when you're playing up against a former teammate or former, somebody's home. One of the things you want to do is you want to show them up, regardless of the fact. And I'm pretty sure everybody had it in their mind. We're going to stop Gary. You left us. We're going to remember this. But instead, Gary had something different. I'm coming to show you guys that you guys are going to miss me a lot. And yeah, they miss him. 4 touchdowns, and he's pretty much outgained them all by himself all game.
And you do feel a little bit for this Elgin defense, right, who came out of the gates with a lot of intensity. But a couple times tonight, they've just gone a little bit overboard, been flagged for 15-yard penalties. Between that and the scoreline now being lopsided, it seems some of the wind might be out of their sails. But they certainly met the challenge of slowing down Bastrop's run game early tonight. The challenge, though, keeping it up for a full game as Mejias on the kickoff return spins free, moving backwards, twisting and turning. This is J.J. Reed, and all of that running gets him out to the 20-yard line. He was chased down by Cale Finley, who's really been a good special teams player all season for Bastrop.
You know, right now I'm hearing my coaches say, North and South Robinson, not East and West. He went backwards, trying to find a way to make a play, and instead of being over there inside the 30, the 20, the 25, you're now outside. You're probably at the 19. What a loss! You can't, you're trying to make a play. It's not everything. You're going to do that. You could have just went first. Went forward, dropped down. But again, good coverage by this Bastrop defense.
Man, you want to watch some special teams tape at home? Young kids maybe watching us on their laptops, TVs, wherever you've got the Vype Live feed tonight. Go back and watch Cale Finley on that special teams rep. Completely taking the correct angle, not giving up on the play. And he was the last line of defense there after J.J. Reed reverse field. That tackle probably saved a good 40 or 50 yards there for Bastrop.
And you're absolutely right about that. If you're going to want to play, a lot of times when you make the team, it's going to be by special teams. And if you see the way how he was out there all hustle, then take off the playoff, that is definitely the prototypical way how to play special teams.
All-district honorable mention last year. And this season, the junior taking on an even bigger leadership role. Now Flores looking to throw. Rolls right, directs traffic, and flutters into coverage. That was dangerous. Incomplete, 3rd and 12. Coming up here for the Wildcats with 5:23 to go in the third.
Not all passes are good passes, but it looks like there's a flag on the play.
in the area of a hold. Let's see the call.
Personal foul. 45 on the defense. Roughing the passer.
Now, late hit there, I beg your pardon, on Flores. They got Isaiah Arnold, the all-district junior linebacker, who's sure to repeat that honor the way he's played this season. They got him for the late hit.
And, you know, you went a little bit too hard, you went over there, but you remember, they are protecting the quarterbacks. So you went in there, you kept playing, but that play, you gave them a first down and plus 15 yards.
So 5:10 and ticking in the third quarter now. Flores hands off to Dayron Traylor. That time he is stopped by Regalado and the Bears. Loss of 1.
Good defense again. The way how it's been all game, they're not really getting anything going up front. Led by Tiki Hola, they have been getting good deep penetration. It's very rare that they're getting anything positive in between the tackles.
Little screen pass. That's blown up. Mejias couldn't hang on. Even if he did, he was meeting Mr. Kenneth Hunt.
Mr. Kenneth Hunt was out there, and he read it. The way how it looks like just automatically he didn't back down, he didn't backpedal. He saw the turnaround, and he was right there, and he met him.
Hunt got some heavy praise from Jake Grudel when we spoke earlier this week. Had a great offseason and really improved his game going into his senior year. He's got 3 defensive touchdowns, including one on special teams. So, very explosive player for this Bears defense. Along with Adrian Martinez, who's quietly doing a really nice job filling in at DB. Now Flores loads up, takes a shot. Too tall, almost picked off by Martinez right on cue. Actually, that was Finley in coverage, helping Martinez over the top. And it's 4th down and 11. You know, Martinez came in for Crescenzo on the defensive side of the ball in that Connolly game. And the Cougars went right after him, right? Took their shots deep against the replacement DB Martinez, who is a senior, but not somebody who began the year in the starting lineup. Keon Puchek is also on the mend, so he's filling in and doing an excellent job at doing so.
Well, like you said in the Connolly game, if you're a good quarterback and you see somebody who's not there, you're going to go after the inexperience.
Fair catch called for here on the punt. And the fair catch made by Jefferson Jr. at the 36-yard line.
I bet you Gary is probably not really happy with himself, because if he could have took that, caught it, and he could have probably had some steps. There was some room for him. So, but again, you set your team up with good field position.
It's actually the worst starting field position all day long for Bastrop.
How dare they have this over here? Wow, really bad field position, Jake.
At their own 36. Actually, matches what they had on their last drive. All Gary Jefferson Jr. did was make a house call on the first run, and he's still out there. 4 touchdown runs in this game today from, well, as Nielsen drops back, throws a screen pass, will hold that thought, and some space to run along the far side and all the way down inside the 30-yard line with it on a nice design. Downfield blocks developed real nicely there for Brent Carter.
Green to number 5, Brent Carter.
That's a big gain of about 34 on first down. And we've got an Elgin Wildcat down behind the play. Gives us a chance to catch our breath here. 3:42 to go, third quarter. Bastrop up 48-0 on its way to an 8-0 start.
The team at E3 Wealth has deep ties with the Bastrop community, including longtime Bastrop residents Mark Caldwell and Chad Benoit, along with Bastrop alum Joe Quartucci and Bastrop Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Taylor. They want to wish the Bastrop football team, along with all the other athletic programs, good luck this season. Go Bears!
We continue to keep our eye on scores from around the state of Texas. A busy Friday night. And here's one that might raise your eyebrow. Lake Travis 31, Westlake 10 in the fourth quarter.
Isn't that Drew Brees night?
In fact, it is. And Drew Brees' number retirement being spoiled for the moment. Here's Nielsen. Over the middle, that's batted down by Clear on a pass over the middle, which was intended for Caden Laney. Actually, Barron gets credit with the PBU. So, how about that? Lake Travis, if they can hang on to that 21-point lead, which they should with that defense.
You would never expect. I'm guessing when you said that Drew Brees was getting his jersey retired tonight, I'm thinking that it should have been retired a long time ago. So I'm just surprised that it took them that long to do that.
He doesn't come back to Austin all that often, Drew Brees. He kept pretty busy, even after his playing days ended a couple of years ago. Nielsen on second down. Fires to the flat. That is incomplete. Another one off the hands of a Bastrop receiver. It was Rangel near the boundary, who I think got caught looking down where his feet were instead of the ball coming in.
Too busy looking at the sideline, just going to catch the ball, and if that's what he could have done. But again, that's his third key drop of this game so far.
And he's had his great moments, and he's had a couple that he'll try to work on as the season comes down the stretch. On third down, quick little pattern is caught by Wilkinson, who stays on his feet up to the 21, dragged down 2 yards short of the line to gain. Fourth and short on the gain of 8 to Wilkinson. And Bastrop leaves its offense on the field, needing about 3 yards here. And some movement pre-snap. Officials let it go. Nielsen throws back, shoulder incomplete. Intended for Rangel. I think Weston might have thought that was a free play. Both teams looked to move a little bit before the snap. Was there a flag thrown? Nobody's leaving the field just yet. That was odd.
Yeah, it looks like that. I'm looking at it. Looks like.
Nope, they're going to say no flag.
It's Elgin's ball.
That was certainly strange. There was a little bit of a flinch. I'm not sure if it was Bastrop first or Elgin first, but the officials just said play on, and that will mean a turnover on downs. Third stop of the night for the Elgin defense, and they get it back with 2:38 to go in the third quarter.
At least they have something they can be able to look at it and say, hey, we stopped them 3 times, and they all have been in scoring position, scoring drives. 2 were been scoring.
From their own 21-yard line, Flores fires one out to the flat. And a little space here along the near side. Nice run after the catch for Jackson Malik, the senior wideout. Makes his 3rd catch of the year, 1st of the night. And it goes for a gain of 7 yards.
Was able to just get out there. Again, the corners were playing off. Was able to just get the ball out there into the flat. And he was able to just turn up and just get a good chunk of yards.
Other scores we continue to keep an eye on down south. Cibolo Steel leads San Marcos 27 to 21. Whistle before this play and a marker from the near side for a false start.
Not what you need when you had a good when your first drive you were able to get a good 6 yards. Now you're backing it up. Beep, beep, beep. Now it's going to be about 2nd and 9.
Here's the call.
False start on the offense. 54, 5 yards. Replay 2nd down.
And there is no 54 for Elgin. Might have meant Kelly Gibson, their reliable left tackle, number 56. If it wasn't Jake Kelly, sorry about that. He is their captain at left tackle. Had to step in there after an injury earlier this year. Give to Trailer, and Bastrop having none of that. Moylan made the tackle for about a 1-yard loss, and so after a 7-yard gain on first down, Elgin now going to stare at 3rd and 10 with minute 30 to go in the quarter.
I remember David Carr talking about when he was at Fresno State. He was talking about his Fresno State defense. Talking about they were like Velociraptors. That's what I'm seeing right now out of this Bastrop defense. They are on the attack.
These guys on the Bastrop defense starting to forget what it feels like to get scored on. Pressure coming and a big loss. Val Regalado breaks through in the backfield. Flags were down as well. I'm not sure if this play actually wasn't blown dead before it started.
Looks like everybody threw a flag on this one. Back judge, ref, side, everybody threw it. So I'm trying to see what it was. Maybe it was a false start or holding. Maybe they saw something. And there's another one.
Yeah, the wind killed that flag toss short. The referee had to go and retrieve it. Here's the call.
Personal foul. High-low. On the offense.
Yeah, by high-low, the official means a chop block. And Bastrop's going to accept that penalty. Back the Wildcats up a little bit. Minute 7 to go, third quarter.
So that's probably why everybody threw it. Everybody saw that the chop block.
Clearly wasn't a chop block thrown against Regalado, who came in for the sack. He's replaced now on the right end by Kirchmar. And on third and forever, they give it to Traylor. And he only gets as far as about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Hola and Moylan combined for the stop. It's fourth down again as we dive under 40 seconds to go in the quarter. We can tell you that Vandegrift has won at Hutto 44-34. So now there is a three-way tie atop District 25-6A. That means it's up to McNeil to kind of hold serve and win tonight. If they do so, they would control their own destiny. They lead 35-31 in the fourth quarter at Cedar Ridge. So that district continues to be very close.
You mean defending state champs, Vandergrift, right?
Yeah, I mean, 8-time defending district champs who would have been eliminated essentially from the district if they lost tonight. But instead they go to Hutto and deal the Hippos their first district loss. Eli Reinhardt's done an excellent job with Hutto.
Yes.
That game aired on Vype Live earlier tonight. And Vandegrift gets a big road victory to keep their district hopes alive. But McNeil controls its own destiny now. Crazy to think about where that McNeil program was a few years ago. They have built and improved under Scott Hermes. McNeil versus Hutto a couple weeks from now could determine the district, but the Mavs have their hands full with Cedar Ridge, so that's one to watch out in 25-6A.
And that's where, when you look at some teams where they were, and then all of a sudden they just all of a sudden come out of nowhere, and you just think that they look like they're in disarray. They can't even block or even be able to catch a ball. And all of a sudden they look like world beaters. It just takes time, believing in the process, believing in the coach's vision, and you see exactly what McNeil is.
Soto bobbles the snap on the punt, and that was partially blocked. A whole horde of Bears got there to deflect the kick, and this Bastrop Special Teams continues a special season.
Again, that is one thing that you can always say about Bastrop. Their special teams has been on point all season. Coverage, return, everything about it. They have really showed up.
Well, there were a lot of Bears converging on that punt block. I'm not sure who blocked it, but if one of them didn't, the next couple behind him were likely going to, if that makes sense. There were one or two waves of hands and arms that punt had to get through. No shot after the snap was bobbled. And so we'll flip the field with the fourth quarter set to begin next. Bastrop winning 48-zip here at Elgin.
The team at E3 Wealth has deep ties with the Bastrop community, including longtime Bastrop residents Mark Caldwell and Chad Benoit, along with Bastrop alum Joe Quartucci and Bastrop Hall of Fame quarterback Terry Taylor. They want to wish the Bastrop football team, along with all the other athletic programs, good luck this season. Go Bears!
Chilly, windy night, rainstorms coming later on this evening, but Bastrop has certainly provided some stormy waters for which Elgin to navigate all night long. Nielsen throwing with the wind. Sees that one sail on him a little bit. Off target intended for Wilkinson. Hasn't been quite as crisp for the Bastrop passing game tonight, and you have to believe the wind has a lot to do with it. That one just a little bit off target, a throw that Weston Nielsen can make in his sleep in normal conditions.
Yeah, in normal conditions, he would have been able to just step in, been able to throw the ball. One thing that he's been all season. But right now, whether we like, one thing is Elgin has been able to get to him, has been able to just not been able to exactly get comfortable in the pocket, and that's one thing that you see he's been doing all game.
Here's Gary Jefferson Jr. dragged down after a 2-yard gain by Reese, combining in on the stop with Bryce Barron and Wyatt Cooper. Sets up 3rd down and 8 for the Bears. And Gary Jefferson Jr. still out there. And you might question that, up 48-0 with some bigger ball games ahead, and that's what Jake Gradle stressed to his team. Yes, it's going to be emotional against an Elgin team that always paints a big target on Bastrop's back, just like the Bears would in past years against this Wildcat team. But the goal just to get better as Nielsen fires. That's caught by Wilkinson on the slant route. Boy, their timing is just something to watch. It's a 1st down at the 17-yard line with a gain of 10.
Good, nice way. That time he was able to just drop back with the protection, letting them be able to just sit back there and fire it in on that little slant route where he was just able to pick up the 1st down.
In the red zone tonight, the go-to targets for the Bears have been both Carter and Laney. Nielsen on the keeper here, chased by Reese and brought down. Football comes out late, and Nielsen is a little bit slow to get up. They're going to say he's down on the play, and Nielsen is up on 2 feet, walking a little slowly back to the huddle. That was an awkward landing with Reese bringing him down from behind, and a great sign for Bastrop to see their quarterback bounce right up. But he's feeling it a little bit down there.
Yeah, he is, and I think they may want to reconsider. Like, the game's pretty much over with, unless go ahead and get him out. But it looks like they're going to probably let him finish the drive.
Weston did get banged up a little bit his freshman year, as he hands it off to Gary Jefferson Jr., who is spun down across the 15-yard line for a gain of about 7 yards on the carry. He's over the century mark. Well, has been over the century mark for a while, rushing tonight. Season high was just a hair under 200 rushing yards in the win over Connolly a few weeks back. Tonight, he's got touchdowns number 20, 21, and 22 on the season. 17 of those 22 coming on the ground. And all 3 tonight. Nielsen on 3rd down. Stands in, throws, it's caught. Inside the 5, it's Laney. Needing 3 Wildcats to drag him down. He got a big late shove from Lamont Owens. How about that? Left guard out there pushing Laney inside the 5, setting up 1st and goal.
And you know something? It looks like he got his first catch. This is his first catch of the season. Right there, when right now, and they just kept coming to him, letting him know, hey, regardless of the fact, we're going to keep coming to you, and there he goes.
First and goal, Nielsen in the end zone. Pass is tipped and nearly intercepted. Lucas Reese, boy, he's a handful, the pass rusher. Got up there and got a hand on it. Matthew Clear nearly pounces for the pick.
Almost, but they were, like you said, they were able to just jump up, get and just didn't get the interception. But again, you're giving this offense another shot at the end zone.
Second and goal. Jefferson Jr. walks in for the touchdown. Got a big block from the pulling guard, Riley Williams. And he scores for the 4th time tonight. A curtain call on homecoming for the Elgin transfer, Jefferson Jr. Such a big part of the Wildcats' playoff success a year ago against his old teammates and friends. He's played some of his best ball in the second half.
It looks like he just awakened when they had everything on him for the first half. Then all of a sudden he just blew up this second half.
Extra point good for Carbajal. 8:20 left in the ball game. It's academic for the Bears, the 10th ranked team in 5A Division II on cruise control here against Elgin. 55-zip. Wildcats get the football back next.
Most accountants look back at last year. Most advisors won't talk taxes at all. At E3 Wealth, we focus forward on what's possible. Every dollar you don't send to Uncle Sam is a dollar you can invest, enjoy, or pass on. That's why we build proactive tax strategies for today and tomorrow. Don't pay more than your fair share. Contact E3 Wealth in Bastrop today at 512-549-3931 or by email at info@e3wealth.com. Go Bears!
55-zip. Bastrop continues to dominate district play. Now the only question remaining for this defense is, can they keep Elgin off the scoreboard and make it a second straight goose egg? We'll see what the last couple of drives hold, with Elgin now going against the wind in the fourth quarter. It's booted through the end zone.
Well, that's probably the goal in every defensive coordinator, to be like, let's see if we can be able to pitch a shutout. What can you be able to do? Because there's something that you can be able to accomplish, so you can be able to look at film study and say, this is what we did, this is what we did right, this is what we need to work on. And right now, this is something that I can see right now. It looks like a lot of their starters are still out there, so it looks like they want to preserve that shutout.
Yeah, I do see Moy Martinez in there, as well as Corey Evans. So a couple of different faces playing in the second layer now, but those two have been a big part of things for Bastrop here recently. Screen pass and some room out on the right side. That room went away quickly for Andre Simmons, who was brought down by Evans. Corey Evans, who is on that second wave as a linebacker, also the third string running back for Bastrop. Him and Miles Johnson kind of splitting in that role. And Evans scored his first career touchdown on homecoming last week against Navarro.
Yes, and that's got to be exciting when you do score on homecoming in front of your friends and family and everybody else out there to watch you. That was a pretty electric game out there.
Yeah, maybe some of our folks watching from home tonight, or maybe turning us on in their cars after getting a little early head start from this one, as the give to Trailer. He is driven backwards by Tiki Hola. And a little more shoving after the play as Kenyon Moore and Val Regalado try and help each other up. Actually credited Kenneth Hunt on the stop, and that brings up 3rd and 7. But to that homecoming crowd that some of these viewers were probably in, I asked Jake Greedle, do you take it in when you look around and see something like that? Do you think about how far the program has come? He said it took him until halftime to kind of step back and look around and appreciate the moment. He gets really hyper-present in the moment, Jake Greedle. It's what he wants his team to do. But he was reminded by some of his mentors in the coaching world to do just that. Take a deep breath and look around, appreciate the surroundings and the progress. As that screen pass blown up by Kirchmar and Regalado. And just not much of anything Bastrop's defense has not been ready for here tonight.
Yeah, if you look at that screenplay, nobody was there for the block. It's like the protection broke down. Well, of course, screens is basically when you invite the rush up, the offensive line is going out there to block for the running back, but nobody was out there to block. So it's like the moment the ball went to him, he was eaten up by some Bears.
Quick correction, I credited Kirchmar on the tackle. It was Isaiah Arnold who diagnosed the screen and drove Vizcarra into the turf. As Soto's 11th punt is going to tumble to a stop at the 49-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go in the game. Bastrop will get the football back. And now the clock will run down to 5:42.
And this is, again, but we can say that Elgin's defense has something that they can hold their head on to. That was being able to stop Bastrop's high-powered offense a couple of times. So they have that. They can look at that as Phil study and say, we have been able to get Weston off, not get comfortable out there. And, in the first half, we let our emotions got high. Maybe if we could just be able to translate this and, calm down. It looks like Weston's out.
Yep, second wave for a couple key positions for Bastrop as Jackson Phillips hands it off to Isaiah Regalado, backup tailback who rumbled for a touchdown run a week ago. He's got over 200 yards rushing this season. Jackson Phillips and Bryce Cosgrove have each seen some time at quarterback. Cosgrove, who is out there at tight end right now with this offensive set, he is fun to watch when he gets the ball because he just seeks out contact. It doesn't matter where you are on the field or who you are. He's going to lower his shoulder into you. Keep an eye on number 18 in white, who might be a target of Phillips on this particular drive. As Jackson Phillips from the shotgun gets the snap, and he's going to throw it over the middle for Wilkinson, but that play blown dead before it started. And the Bears are backing up, it looks like here, with a false start.
And you know what? I know that the game is pretty much over with, and and they're just playing it out and everything like that. But again, regardless of the facts, don't want to. This is where discipline comes in, especially later on down. No telling when you may be called upon to be able to play game, and if you're doing false starts and doing kind of plays like, come on, we know better. Come on down. You know exactly how your temperament and everything.
Whistles again on second down. Jake Griedel's furious.
I would too.
He's got his first unit offensive line out there, trying to get used to the cadence, I think, of Phillips. And, you just never know if there's a situation where your backup quarterback gets called on. These are meaningful reps, despite the game being well in hand.
Yes.
So a couple penalties, not what the Bears' fourth-year head coach Jake Griedel wants to see. Last note on that homecoming crowd he acknowledged. He said, it hasn't been like this in a long time around here in Bastrop. So it is important for him and his team to take it in and realize the kind of impact they're having, as Phillips had his arm hit during that pass, and as a result, that ball may have been intercepted. Well, no signal yet. Yeah, they're going to say it's an interception. Bryce Barron picked it off the turf. Phillips had his arm hit by a defensive lineman as he threw it, and that's what caused the pick.
Yeah, and first you had a couple of penalties where, again, you backed it up, and then you get your first you get a turnover. With this much left, now you're putting a little pressure on this defense, see if they can be able to get the stop and preserve this shutout. This is what it is now, preserving the shutout.
Flores looking to get Elgin on the board for the first time today. Slings it out to the flat. And Traylor still going up against some of the first-team Bears defensively, with Corey Evans mixing in to make the stop. Also seeing a little bit of Justin Lordizin, senior defensive end who saw some reps against Navarro last week. He's been working his way into that second unit, getting some looks down there. Also in on the far side at defensive back for Bastrop is Aaron Robinson. Hand off to Traylor, who's gotten a lot of work in this game. He's sandwiched right at the line of scrimmage. Great instincts by Chris Rockwell, flying down there in run support.
This is what I like to see when it comes to it. When your defensive line is holding up and getting that good penetration, you're seeing those linebackers just coming up and just coming in and cleaning it up. This is exactly a good defense is about.
3rd and 9. Wildcats started this drive in plus territory, trying to move the sticks for what would only be the 4th time tonight. Flores stands in, throws deep, and he's got a man inside the 20. The catch is made by Noah Vizcarra. And Elgin now deep in Bear territory with just over 2 minutes to play. Looking to salvage something on this final drive after their defense made the pick. And you got to give the Wildcats credit. Tip your cap to them as they try to get this snap off here before the 2-minute warning. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to as it hits 2 minutes flat. It's something that Coach Lucero told me. He tells his team when they're trying to build the culture, right, hang their hat on something during what is a rebuilding season. And that is the slogan, Wildcats always fight. And that's exactly what they're doing late in the game here tonight.
And that's what, and again, even though that this game looks like it was out of hand, and you know, they could have probably just hung it up a long time ago. They are continuing to win, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to have something to go into, some type of momentum, something to be like, you know what, despite of that, let's look at this. How can we build off this? Where can we go with this? Guys, we did this. You know, we're better than this record. I promise you, we will get better with this. Something about this, and I promise you right now, Elgin will be a lot better, probably within a year or two.
Yeah, certainly have a chance to be. They'll have to replace a lot of this offensive line next season, but they are young at several other key positions, including the back end of the defense, the quarterback position, where they've got a freshman, Tanner Modisette, they're excited about, who threw a touchdown late in that Crockett game that they won last week. Plenty to look forward to if you're a Wildcat fan, rebuilding after their first playoff win in a decade a season ago. Now a low snap. Flores has to backtrack and fall on it. That preserves the drive, but loses 4 yards.
Yeah, he couldn't get a handle of that snap. He almost lost it. If I can tell you, if one of those starters were out there for the Bastrop defense, that probably would have been a takeaway. But he was able to just fall on it, and like you said, you're able to preserve the drive.
Kind of a mixed bag right now for Bastrop, with some guys from the second unit mixing in, including Jonathan Ramirez at nose guard, who was the closest Bear to having a shot at recovering that football. Tiki Hola's night appears to be done. Well-deserved rest for Tiki. Looks like we're seeing Sam Diaz in there in the secondary as well. Flores fires inside the hash marks. That's caught, and fighting towards the goal line with it is Andre Simmons. It's 1st and goal, Elgin. That's a gain of 16 yards on the slant on 2nd and 14.
Nobody was in there. He was able to just get in there, and somebody was trying to go for like the hit instead of wrapping up. That's one thing that I'm not a big fan of, when people try to lower the shoulder to try to get the hit. Wrap up. When you wrap somebody up, you can really stop their momentum, and you hold them up and force somebody else to come up, because he almost spun and walked into the end zone.
.45 seconds to go. Give goes to Trailer. He's pushing and diving in for the touchdown.
Shutout.
Sebastian Monroy, the center and the captain of this Elgin team, got behind his sophomore running back and just willed him into the end zone.
Yeah, and again, there was no shutout. They were letting it be known, I am getting into the end zone. We are getting in there. Follow me. And again, and now they've got the board, and we were talking about preserving the shutout and what could be, and it looks like Bastrop has something to talk about.
Soto, who's been so busy punting tonight, will not have a chance to kick the extra point. It was a bad snap, and the holder just had to fall on it to avoid disaster. 55-6 the score with 29 seconds to go. Look, I know it's not going to be a night that a lot of Elgin players down there will remember fondly, given Bastrop's domination in this game, but that's a culture drive right there for Elgin. A really good sign that Richard Lucero has these guys bought in. They're going to keep fighting to the end to get on the scoreboard late.
Just like I said a moment ago, you want to be able to have something where you can be able to build off of. Each game, you want to look at something to be like, okay, this is what we did right, this is what we did wrong. How can we build off this? Even though that this is against a lot of second teamers, what the point is, you scored on Bastrop. That's the main thing you want to look at. If you scored on this team, that shut out a lot of people, like you said, going on. If I'm thinking about this right now, about if I'm looking at this, if I'm doing my math, about nine quarters?
Nearly 10.
Nearly 10 quarters. So they could be able to say, okay, we did something that a lot of teams didn't do. So, we can be able to build off this.
Yeah, 29 seconds away from 10 consecutive quarters, 29 seconds away from 2.5 consecutive games without allowing a point. If you go back to when Connolly got their points near the end of the first half in that game, from just a time alone perspective, it pretty much checks out to 2.5 complete games for Bastrop since they'd allowed a point. It came against a second-team defense. It came with a short field, so you throw those caveats in there. Still an excellent stretch of play for this Bears defensive unit.
True, but the way how any coach would say, it doesn't matter about that. The point is they scored. Even when they had that short field, they weren't doing anything. But this time they were able to do something. And so Elgin should be able to look at this and say, like, we scored against this mighty Bastrop team.
On the kick return, room to roam, and getting past the kicker and free to the second layer, Isaiah Regalado on a return rush to the end zone. And the Bears answer the touchdown right away and put the cherry on top of a road win.
I didn't put the cherry on top. Boy, they just took a big bite of the ice cream. That was it. I mean, I thought they were just going to probably, okay, we got the ball, but let's just sit on it, let's go home. Instead, Regalado just took it home.
So the Bears back in high spirits on the sideline after all. And Carbajal will get another chance for a point after try. He is 7 for 8 on PAT so far in this game. And that will make it 8 for 9. 11 seconds away from 8-0. Bastrop going to win their 16th game of their last 17. And is it any question, Sasha, who's going to be our player of the game tonight?
I'm going to probably say Rainey, but let's go with Gary Jefferson Jr. Good homecoming. He just he kept his emotions in check, and he really blew this game open in the second half.
Yeah, a night that Gary and company can be proud of. 65-yard touchdown, seemed to kind of put the game away early in the third quarter. Bastrop did have firm control before that. Jefferson Jr. also scored from 1 yard and 12 yards away in this ball game. 4 touchdowns in total. And he is able to help his teammates improve to 8-0. Now things get a little more difficult for the Bears from a schedule perspective. They'll see a Pflugerville team next that comes into that game 4-1 in district play after they picked up a victory tonight. And Bastrop will then have to face Liberty Hill, who's unbeaten in district. They took out Pflugerville in pretty decisive fashion last week. Likely just one final snap in this one with 6 seconds to go. But, Sasha, anything Bastrop can take away from this game and parlay into Pflugerville next week?
Just ride high with the momentum, regardless of the fact they kept their emotions in check. They did right into, because Elgin, obviously they were really hyped about this game because they were really looking forward about getting not having Gary's homecoming look pretty good, and they were really electric. They were really all over the place, and Bastrop didn't play into it. So going into this gauntlet that we're about to say Bastrop's about to have, that just shows that they really are calm and cool going into these big games.
Not exactly sure what the delay is right now. Looks like Elgin took a timeout. 6 seconds to go. Ball on the 25-yard line. Not exactly sure why, but either way, Bastrop gonna roll out of here with the result they wanted and carry that momentum into a couple of tough games still to come. We appreciate everyone that's joined us here tonight on Vype Live. And Sasha, your last game with us here for a little while. Your final thoughts on, what you've watched with this Bastrop team en route to an 8-0 start?
It's something that I'm not going to be able to be with us, because I'm pretty sure the next games going into the playoffs, I'm not going to be able to watch be with you all for this, but hey, I'll be able to watch online, and I'll be sure to text you to see how everything is, and keep in contact with you about how everything is. It's a pleasure to being a part of this from jump, from all the technical issues to the good times, the bad times, regardless of the fact I really did enjoy being a part of this broadcast.
Well, hey, we've loved having you. Thanks for all the hard work, and Bastrop put in a good shift here tonight on the road, 62-6. The Bears grab the win over Elgin. Wildcats will get Connolly on the road Thursday. I'll have that game for you as well. But Navarro is the last team on Elgin's schedule, so a couple of chances left for the Wildcats to pick up a win in this 2025 campaign. Bastrop, though, 8-0, and the hardest games on their schedule still yet to come. It'll be back at Memorial Stadium, a big contest for the home regular season finale against Pflugerville. Should be a packed house full of crazy costumes on Halloween.
And that's something. Look at that. It's going to be a Halloween. It's going to be a great game. You be careful out there for all the spookies out there. So be sure to have a good time out there, Jake.
Thank you, Sasha. And this is where we leave you from Wildcat Stadium here tonight in an emotional contest, a homecoming contest for Gary Jefferson Jr. against his old teammates. The Bastrop Bears pretty strong from start to finish. A late touchdown salvages a shutout for Elgin, but the final score, Bastrop 62 and Elgin 6. The Bears beat the Wildcats for the second year in a row since this little regional rivalry got renewed with realignment. For Sasha Robinson, our hardworking producer, I'm Jake Herman on Play-by-Play saying thanks for joining us here tonight and all season long on Vype Live. Join us on Friday night for a huge matchup in District 11 5AD2. The Bears welcome the Panthers from Pflugerville in the home regular season finale. And it'll be right here on Vype Live. Have a great weekend.